I didn't do that yet.
We should try and do a whole episode in our London accents.
No, that would
Why not, mate? I think we should do it.
Because you always confuse the one that is Australian and the one that is English.
What's your bomber clap talking about? I'm just saying.
I was like, wait a minute.
This man's going off the rails.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. You ever notice those people? I think our mom does that. Like when she's around people with accents, she like
It's the best way to nail an accent, though.
she like gets those accents when she's talking. I'm like, what are you doing? Huh?
Pop's the same way. If he's talking like a Mexican dude, he'd be like, "Oh, amigo." I'm like, yo, that's offensive to some degree, Pop. You got to relax.
Not really. I think amigo is my friend anyway, right? That's what it's translated to.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way. This
the
is
episode
pre-show
starts.
things.
No, it ain't. I'm pretty sure we're talking, ain't we? I started the clock.
Well, I mean,
'cause
he
you
would
started
have
the clock.
injured us by now, right?
Yeah, man, we didn't. You know.
Oh, this is good conversation. I think this should just go in.
This goes to this fucking big-headed guy over here.
Oh, my God.
I ain't got that. What size hat you wear?
You did that.
It's between 7.5 and 7.5/8.
You got a fat ass
but
head.
that would
boy.
also like when
Fat
I
head
it's
ass,
also when I don't
boy.
have a haircut.
Well,
It's also
Look at your fat ass head, boy.
get him.
boy, please.
Face ass, fat ass head, boy. No, I'm just playing. All right. Well, you call me big headed, so I
My,
had to.
my man got an
Get
elastic
him.
band on his head talking about.
No, I have a 7
Heavily.
So I have a 7.25 head, but
Yeah.
I think we talked about this. Don't buy hats when you got a haircut.
Well, I mean,
thought I had
unless
a
you
7.
consistently
day,
have a haircut.
That day, I thought I had I was like 7.125. It feels like it might work. I bought that bitch. It's
Also-
fucked up. I get like 3 days, and then it got
To be fair, when you're talking about hat sizes, it's never consistent. 7.5 is not a 7.5 with like 5 hats in a row. It's not.
No, I told you I bought that Bears hat I wore last week. I went and bought it. It was a 7.25. Put it on, fit like a 7 and probably 3/8. I was like, fuck. So I brought it back. The next 7.25 fit exactly like that one fit last week.
And now you're in a nasty part of the world where you can't really try on hats before you buy them. That's nasty. I ain't trying to. I don't know whose
I'm
nasty
sorry,
ass
but
head
I
was in
do.
this shit first.
I do. I have to because I'm not gonna buy a hat and be grossly disappointed.
The last time I got a hat was for Christmas, and I didn't try it on.
Well, I like
Obviously, it was purpose for
I
me.
like both.
Man, I got a hat recently, and I got it via mail. So, and I got it, and I mean, it fits okay, but doesn't fit perfect.
So that Cubs one on the wall. That one fits actually pretty nicely. It's
So
just
mine
weird
is
with height,
it's a little too big. I don't know.
Yeah, big hats. I hate that I pull out some hats that I have
Like, it
that I want
looks-
to wear, and they're like a eighth of an inch too big, or
Right.
maybe like I might have bought them at 7 and 3.5 or 7.5 for some fucking reason.
Right.
I don't know. Bugs
Yeah,
me.
what happens? You know what I mean? And
An eighth of an inch makes a big difference in hat world.
and you started growing your hair out.
yeah, but a
couple years ago. So now, like,
actual hat sits is on skin though most of the time.
I mean, hey, whatever. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we talked about
Most
hats
of the
last
hat?
week. Huh?
Most.
Yeah,
of
like
hat?
the band of the hat usually is around like actual just pretty low cut.
Okay.
It's never like on the heavy, whatever.
I like Scully's. Like, they just stretch around my head.
Man, I wish I could wear a Scully 24, like 7.
I would hate to do
year-round.
that, man. In this
Scullies are
wintertime,
my thing.
Well,
when
this
I
summer
take it
it's
off,
been hot as a
Well,
fuck
I
so
guess
far, man.
that's because I'm more of a winter person.
But when you be bundled up in the winter,
I'm
you know
moving
we
that
wanted
direction.
to rip all that shit off it when you get it's too hot.
I'm moving that direction, especially with like the breathing things I've been having. Like
Sure,
the
sure.
colder air makes so much.
I have sinus problems and allergy problems, and it's been really bad this year.
Yeah.
Like where I thought I had a problem with my, respiratory.
When we first
I
moved
think
out to
a
the
lot- I
suburbs,
think
that's
it's
when
been
my
a thing.
allergies got.
Did
real
you
bad.
never caught COVID, right?
No, thankfully.
But
Thankfully, I have not.
because I
No.
feel
My
like
wife
after
either.
it, you get like some sort of like effects of that nature.
Both
Yeah.
of us, my wife and I, we've been able to steer clear.
Good.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say. Like, there's a lingering effect with COVID, and who knows, like, how long it lasts, and
Yeah,
what
it's
kind
all-
of experiences you have afterwards down the line
Right.
because of it. And
It's all that like all the remnants, like all the what it leaves behind and shit, how it fucks with you. But
Yeah.
you know,
All right. Well, I mean, if we did start, then I guess we might as well start, right?
Yeah, I think they don't know. They
Little
don't know,
loud, my bad.
motherfuckers.
Oh, it was good.
They don't even fucking know,
Welcome,
dog.
welcome everybody.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday.
And this
isn't it?
This is why Sam be like, "Oh, we gotta hit the button again and end it too fast." Motherfucker, shut up.
This is our podcast, though. We
Welcome
don't allow
everybody
you to go through
to the Kiona and Kasson podcast. This is episode number 145.
145.
I'm your host Adam here with my brother Osama and the homie Dave.
What up?
Ben seems to be better this week, so that's what's up. You know, last week he got off to a little rocky start. You know what I mean?
Man,
He's cool.
Yeah, we were all kind of worried about him.
We do appreciate y'all being with us. Could have been anywhere in the world. You know, whether y'all like it or not, I'm gonna just keep
Maybe
that as
they,
part
but
of
I
the
mean,
intro.
to
you
be
know?
fair,
They could be anywhere in the
they
world.
could be anywhere in the
could be.
world.
But they're still here with us.
Right. But I mean,
That's all that matters.
also,
I don't give a fuck
I
where
mean,
else
they're
you're at.
having some people are having their cake and eating it too. They could be somewhere else, and they are, and then
They're-
they're watching us on. The
Some
beach
of them
or
might
something.
be on the toilet watching this. You know,
I would like to think
You bring
somebody
your phone?
right now is watching us on a vacation on the beach.
I
don't know.
don't want you to
I
do
don't
that.
know.
Honestly,
I'm not
like
sure
if
if they
I'm
are.
on the beach, I'm
I'm
not
just
watching
saying.
anybody.
No, but my aspiration
Sick.
is that I think
that's
they
never
would.
happen if
Why
it's
not, man?
like not us.
It's a good.
Yeah.
Like let's
Oh,
say
somebody else probably.
let's say it's 2-3 in the morning and you're drunk and now you got back to your room and you're like watching a little bit before you go to sleep. I can see that, but like don't be on the beach chilling and listening to us. As
No,
much as,
do
like,
that. Do that. Watch us on the beach,
Do it. Listen,
on the beach, under sheets, in
I
the
just
house
feel- I
with your
feel like
spouse.
because I haven't been on vacation in a
No,
minute,
Dr.
I feel
Seuss
like
line for
there's
us.
just
There it
better
is.
things you could be doing, you know, with your time on vacation. Just personally how I feel. You know?
Man, I'm close to just booking one, dude.
Yeah. We were done hearing
man's been
about your
saying this
vacation
for 2
times.
weeks now.
No, it's gonna happen. You
Sure.
guys gonna get a message
My
like,
man's been
ain't
manifesting
gonna
this
be
for 2
there.
weeks now.
Ain't gonna be there Sunday, y'all. I'm going somewhere else.
He's gonna manifest 2 tickets out of nowhere and be like, I don't know how I bought this or got this.
Like Sunday, won't be here. It's Sunday, isn't it? Dude, English accents are the best.
Oh Lord, listen, I'm trying to like get the podcast international, right? Because I feel like there's bigger audiences abroad because they like to hear about like American culture, or they
internationally
just like to make
known
fun of
on
us,
the
whatever it is.
microphone.
Man, I'd imagine they all just like to make fun of us.
But I'm just saying, like, there's mad other countries that speak English, and maybe if the people in the United States don't want to watch us as much as we would like them to,
Yo, a
there's
lot of
there's
places
money to be
speak
made
English,
abroad.
don't they? Don't they? Do they speak? What do they speak in Finland? Finnish?
Yes.
I don't know.
Or Danish?
See, I don't know. I think that's
I don't know.
the Dutch land.
That's German, isn't it?
That's German. No, I think Germans speak German.
Yeah, I guess.
Where's
But
Finland?
Dutch, though.
Finland, I believe, is like right next to Germany.
So they might speak a variation of German.
I could be wrong with that, dude.
You probably are. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised
That's
if you were
really
wrong.
bad. See,
gonna lie.
now this just shows why
Why we
we're-
shouldn't just talk random things that we don't know anything
Well,
about.
no,
Well,
this just
we know the
shows
geography of our fucking
how the rest
country.
of the world
A lot of
views
people.
us properly.
You got to remember,
But,
we're like.
Yeah,
in the
we are-
US, It's a whole bunch of states, right?
like we
next
should
to
all
each
know
other.
this, right?
I mean, that's true. To be fair,
We know
geography here, I'm only so good at
different.
it, you know?
Well, no, I mean,
Like-
you were
like,
if you
for
were
instance-
like, where is Massachusetts? You'd be like, well, it's right over there by the New York and all
If-
that shit, right?
Let's say you were in 7th grade and somebody handed you a map of the United States and said,
Right.
fill in the capitals. Could you do it all right now?
The capitals?
Right.
Holy shit, that's asking a lot.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes us stupid.
Maybe, because I feel like if you were to give me if I knew the states, would the states be there?
Yeah,
You're not going to tell me to be the states and the capital. I'll
Well, no.
fucking punch you.
I mean, listen, we don't need to go that far.
Fucking
anymore.
asshole.
It's not fucking.
A lot of the shit that they taught us back in the day was unnecessary.
up, bam.
You know? Like, 'cause now today we can just look it up on the phone where nobody wanted to carry a textbook
Yeah.
around with them. But a lot of things they taught us
so the
didn't really have
capitals.
to. Yeah,
So
yeah.
the capitals.
Yeah. So you have all the states.
Do not
I-
try doing this right.
I
now.
think
You're
I
trying
no
to do
no
it
no
right
no.
now. I'm like,
I think I can.
We're gonna do that. We should make it a
Let's
special.
Let's do it.
man.
We're gonna. You guys want to do that?
that or have a spelling bee.
The spelling bee should come soon.
But
I think
Zach should be here for the spelling
Yes.
bee. That would be amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
We need a host. We need. Oh man, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But no, I think we should do that. But
That's a great idea.
that's gonna be good.
Yes.
But I think because the way I feel about it is, there's probably a pretty good chance that if I were to say Iowa, I could say what I could probably
Was it
try-
Dubuque?
I think I can get if I know the state, like I can remember the. I know it may sound weird, but like the cadence in which the word is supposed to be with it, right?
No,
Like
I think
might-
that's a common misconception. You know, I
What's,
think like
what's Delaware?
Shit, preach, bro.
motherfucker, I
Hit
don't
'em
know.
with
You know?
I'd say
I didn't
get-
claim to know
okay,
these things.
give
I
me-
said my geography is bad.
Give me the percentage
yeah,
you think
same.
of what you would get.
I would probably get like
Wait! Before you say it, because we're gonna do this.
I'm
So try to be
assuming
realistic in your sense.
25, 30.
You think you only get
That's-
25%?
Yeah,
of it?
I'm gonna be realistic with myself here. I don't study geography every day, and I don't live in all these states.
So what? That's like 14 out of
50.
yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm saying like 25 of the states.
Oh, okay. I think
Oh, I
So
thought
like
I
50%.
asked you percentage.
Oh, I'll probably be
Yeah.
like 50%.
Okay.
That's where I'm thinking I'm a B.
I
I'm
think
not
so.
going to get.
And
I'm
I'm probably overshooting it with
I
that.
think 50%.
And I think what we should do after that one is fill in European countries.
Oh my God.
No, I can't. Listen, if you tried to fill in every individual state, would you be able to do that?
Under
If I was able to
3%.
fill in every.
You know what the problem is? The Northeast fucks me up.
They're
That, little,
all
that
in,
whole
like,
conglomerate.
Like, why didn't you guys just become one state? Stupid. So many fucking little states.
He called him stupid.
You stupid idiot.
What the fuck is that?
Dumb states.
The tri-state
stupid
area.
fucking
You're a
states.
dumb state.
Can I just circle the tri-state
I'm
area
gonna
and
be-
say
I'm gonna be
tri-state area?
Tri-state.
You can tell how much more open-minded and intelligent people got as they got west, right? Because for some reason these idiots were fucking like, all right, well I'm gonna get this block to that block to that block and call it New York.
Right.
All
I
right.
mean,
and then
Well, then Boston's grid system is.
yeah, they were super
stupid.
close-minded
Yeah.
and really dumb.
That just seems rushed.
Well, the weird
that
thing
whole,
is-
that whole area
Look
was
how,
rushed.
yeah, right? Like, look at it. As soon as you get to like, because they're all like in this.
From the west, just go east. It just
California's
gets
got
clumped
so
in.
much land.
We're like, oh fuck yeah, Maryland here, Rhode Island, Staten Island,
We really fucked ourselves here, didn't we?
Vermont, Maine. Oh my god,
it's literally
there's so
painted-
mine
they-
left over.
They literally painted themselves into a corner.
Minus
so many
how
states left
the,
over.
minus how the laws worked in that time period. I think if we just stuck with 13 colonies, it might be a little bit easier. You know, geography as a
don't-
kid would have
nope.
been.
You
No,
can't- we can't
no,
go
No,
there.
minus the laws and stuff.
Oh,
I said like minus the
Jesus.
norms at the time.
So,
But
like,
just
if-
having 13 colonies is
So
a lot
if human
easier to
beings
do.
were-
We're already regressing. Let's not go any.
Well, no. I get what he's saying. Like for simplicity, minus
Yeah,
the
just to know the
racism. If we
in,
can be
in
the-
school, if I had to fill out the map, it'd be easier to do 13 than 48.
I have a much better chance of getting out of the 13 more than just fucking.
Wait, do you guys know all 13?
No,
Hell no! What the fuck? They're all in that northeast place where we don't know any of them.
no, it's the entire 48
Right.
continental states.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Right.
don't know.
Well, and not even the entire one
I-
because
I'm not gonna
California
hold
and
you, I don't
Arizona
know.
came along later. Like, I don't know, man. Geography's hard.
It's different.
It makes me feel stupid because it should be
It
like the
really
most
does,
stagnant
man.
fucking things. Like these are the most absolute facts that you can get.
I mean, it's actually like we kind of got it easy
I don't know,
over
man.
here.
Geography's hard.
I mean, we kind of got it easy here to like memorize our, United States.
No, we don't.
So I feel like in
I
Europe,
think you're wrong.
I don't know. It's different, man.
I think you're wrong.
There's
I think
a
it's the
lot
other way
going on
around.
there.
Personally, because
know.
we have 50. Like most of
I
us
get
can
it.
pinpoint
Like,
a little bit.
it's bigger,
Like
too.
most
I don't
people
even
in
count the
Europe-
other two because Alaska and Hawaii are.
I don't know who it was recently that said that they didn't know that Alaska and Hawaii were separated from the. Like I think they just
They thought like they were continental.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing something like that.
it's like what the fuck.
Well, some people are like. Some people make me feel superiorly intelligent.
Sure.
Some people are really dumb, dude.
Sure.
I think I've got to the point now where I can't sugarcoat how stupid people can be.
Yeah, so my thing is I just don't speak on it. I just kind of let people do their thing.
It depends how close I am to
But
them.
but
you
so
know?
my theory behind
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if I have to communicate with somebody regularly, right? Like, if I have to see them daily and they just are a big bucket of stupid, they have to know it to some degree. I'm like, listen, certain things you just have to not talk about because you're not smart about it, And I'll let them know that as kindly as possible.
I don't know. I think certain tests like the spelling test. Well, I don't know. I don't think spelling is a direct correlation to intelligence.
I mean, I guess not so much. I don't know.
But
Well, listen, we move
Understanding
further
where
away
you
from
are
that
in
in
the
the
world.
world.
So I feel like in a way it does though, because then you're able to distinguish like the origins of the word and stuff like that.
But we move further
but
away
that's
from that
like
every day, man.
what do they call that?
That takes intelligence.
Like the problem is a lot of papers are
No,
written
that
on
in class
Microsoft
was.
Word, and if you misspell them and hit the space bar, it'll correct it for you, or autocorrect on your phone. So you get further away from that.
Yeah.
But I will say this: what I've started doing over the last couple weeks, because I'm trying to, it helps me get in tune with things in a certain way, right? But I've started doing like my own little writing prompts. Like, I have a theme, and I just kind of like rattle off some shit that I'm thinking about, and like whatever, get them on paper, and it just helped me to organize my thoughts a little bit. And I think it's a
What
nice,
do you mean writing prompts?
like writing in general, since it's a lost art to me, right? There's certain things about it that the correlation with your brain and your hands and just the way you think about things, it really kind of changes it compared to your normal everyday conversation. And when you get back into the habit of writing instead of like texting, it's not the same thing if you like decided to write a paper or if you decide to write it. There's just certain correlations with your brain and your hand, and it does different things, And obviously there's a bunch of different ways to write, and you can, go poetry, you can go and do just like a regular like Dear Diary type of entry.
Well,
whatever.
so that I started trying to do that earlier in the year, and I went I did a lot of entries probably, but like I slowed down. I think once I got COVID, like I got COVID, then I went on vacation, and like I kind of fell off a lot the rhythm I was gaining before that this year.
I try to do a little bit every day. It doesn't like not what. There's certain times where like I've written and it's been 2-3 pages of things, and I'm just like getting.
What are you
all
writing? Just like how you're feeling?
Not necessarily just how I'm feeling. Like that sounds funny to me, you know. Like I'm not a depressed type of person, so that's not
Just
really something I
writing?
need necessarily.
Writing as I cry here.
But like no, just like things are on my mind that like I don't, whatever, just whatever it is. Doesn't have to be anything specific, and you can like.
Stories?
You can play with other things too, right? Like, I can turn a little poetry, get a little rap written down or whatever it is. The idea is putting pen to paper.
You ever do haikus?
No. This man.
Shine shoes.
Butler.
Pineapple Express.
But no, I think actually it's just like,
575. What kind of whack ass? Like, dude, how am I supposed to do this?
and I'm trying to also get back into like cursive. Like kids don't know cursive these days. And if you gave them like cursive and wrote it out and put it in front of them, they wouldn't know what the fuck it said. They would think it's a fucking like foreign language.
So
and
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck
honestly,
are you going to cursive for?
for me, motherfucker, I know how to
You
write
just
cursive.
want to write
Like-
cursive? You just want to write it?
Well, there's also like some things I was reading that's talking about like cursive and your brain. When you put those two together, it just like the way your brain functions and your hands operate, and it's like some weird science behind it that I'm not 100% familiar with. But
a
you
way
don't
of,
you don't need to be familiar with it to get the benefits.
It's a way of brain training too.
Yeah, it is. And then like for instance, with drum, right? You wanna have like your brain has to operate your limbs independently as you're doing those things. And in order to get like the flow of being able to use your left hand compared to your right hand and your left foot and your right foot, it's just more like training for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good that I know those type of exercises are.
This
Those
motherfucker
type-
has been potting for 4 years and got worse at speaking in the microphone.
Those those type of activities are good for, like you said, mind like their mind exercises in terms of
Yes.
just strengthening it to be able to make sure that it's you can get it at least to be always running and efficient.
Mind games.
And it felt
Mind
like torture
games.
as a kid when they made you like write papers. I'm like, what you talking about? It's got to be this long. Like, you want me to write like
I
that?
get you.
And it's funny because I've noticed like since we're so kind of removed from that, right? My hand gets like tired fast, and I'm like, God, like what
I
the
get
fuck,
that.
man? But it's just
That happens.
it does something, It helps you to like if you have like if you're going through some shit, for instance, and you need somebody to like talk to and vent. It does something different than if you just internalize it, right?
Word.
So if you put like your thoughts, whatever, on the paper, and it doesn't have to be anything specific. It doesn't have to be anything like super like serious or important in your life. It's just like a good training exercise. But I like what it's done so far.
See, I think it's a good idea to do it. I think it's a good way to clear your mind, like you're saying. I got the diaries and the journal, whatever you want to call it, same thing. I think
You got like a
either way,
little
you're
lock on it, and
chronicling-
you keep it
no.
under your mattress.
It's just I bought I write in it with pencil because I just like the idea of like being able to just make sure the thought is precise. I plus also feel like I write better in pencil.
It's also like doing like a crossword puzzle. You know how like it's good for your brain, so as you get older, like it
Yeah.
kind of wards off dementia a little bit and shit like that.
Of course,
like
of
it's just another one of those type of things,
Yeah.
So
I think, and also just getting your thoughts out. But like, I would like to do it in a better way. I'd like to, if I got to find a notebook that allows you to, basically write out, but in an efficient manner where it's almost kind of a good way to list out tasks and thoughts that you need to be mindful of throughout that day coming up. You know, something to help you with that. They've there's a lot of things I've been seeing lately. There's this 90-minute sprint, essentially, where you the night before write out write out a task list, and the next day you set the clock on your phone.
you just run for 90 minutes.
Dude, I never,
Fucking dying, man.
I never 90-minute run. Fuck that.
Well, you said 90 minutes sprints.
That's at least a half marathon. I'm not
90
doing
minute sprints.
that. Fuck that. No, it's literally where you put the timer on your phone, right, and you decide to put yourself in like essentially work mode or task mode, and for 90 minutes you go at that task list and you complete as much of it as possible, and you don't
To force yourself to be productive.
just force
type of
yourself
shit.
to like, okay, I remember I got to take the garbage out, I got to put a load of laundry in, I have to actually answer these emails, I have to,
And like anything else, when you write it, it helps you to remember it better.
yeah, and that's my main thing. But I also don't find myself getting to where I need to write.
So it's actually really wild that we're talking about this right now because this is a problem that I have, and I've been talking about this in therapy, is that I don't have any motivation. And he's consistently told me to buy a notebook and just start writing tasks out and then do it the next day. And Candace has implemented this like for years now in her life, and it's made her so much stronger.
It makes you more efficient.
It's like a brain
does.
association,
It really
and it kind of holds you accountable a little bit.
So just to attest to that, like that, this is what you're saying is totally true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you know what's funny is remember when I want to get back to do them because it's fun. I just kind of lost the motivation, the reels, right? But the reels would help me become a little bit more task oriented and to complete some tasks, like because.
Because you need material for your reel. You can't just record yourself sitting on a couch with your hands in your pants, you know?
But also, I think I just held myself accountable.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I want to make a reel, but even to make the reel, I have to be, you know, like the reel was showing some of the house, and like you can't make like the house can't be a mess, or you can't just you got to make sure that you're an efficient human being to do these things, or that's what that's what mine was about, like just showing what my day was, but it helped me to be held to the task in a sense.
Yeah.
And that writing stuff, man, it does work. I've done it. And when I get into the habit of doing it for a week or so, you get into that rhythm of checking your task list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it holds you accountable.
Bless you.
It makes it where like, okay, now it's visual in front of me. I see what my like chores are, whatever things I need to get done. And when you see it, it kind of makes you like feel more accountable.
Yeah,
for it, you know.
It's.
And when you see it, because if you see that you're not crossing it off, and it's been sitting there for a week.
It's satisfying to
Yeah.
see that. To see you check off the list like, oh shit, this is.
It makes you feel a little bit more accomplished, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I haven't been sitting on my ass all day long. I've actually been doing a couple things that are important that I need to get done, and
You're right.
you know.
You know, I try to think about the idea of living life intentionally, right? Like with you know, some sort of sense of urgency for the things I need to get done. Mm-hmm. So like, I should make sure that I'm doing things. I'm like, I know I have 2 hours to kick it. Like, for instance, yesterday I was fucking. It's been long weeks at work lately. Just fucking a lot of driving, a lot of fucking work,
And you know, 90 degrees for the last week outside here.
hot as hell, man, out there. Fucking just
I'm in a smokehouse.
Humid at
that sun,
98% humidity
that
and
is-
shit.
It's like an oven, actual oven.
It's too much, man. So like, I haven't had like, because every fucking weekend lately has been something. Just a party, a graduation party, a wedding.
That was the first
and then Sundays,
2 months of nice weather for me, and I was like, nope, I ain't doing it no more. Fuck that.
No, you're right. But Sundays are like podcast day, and then I go check out my parents, and it's like this day is kind of also not really a day for myself. So yesterday, man, Vivi went to her friend's family's reunion, and I was like, I'm gonna just kick it at the crib, and I just literally chilled at home. I didn't really make myself do much. In the morning, I had to go to I went to the gym, and then I went and had to get my PCR for work. But then when I got home, I just kind of let myself chill, like sat out on the porch, kicked it.
That's also what I've noticed is important as well. Like, people always talk about, like you say, living life intentionally and like making sure you're not wasting a minute and every day's productive. And I'm like, that's important, but it's also important to, as they say, take time out and smell the roses. You know, like relax a little bit, enjoy life for what it is. You know, you're not constantly have to be thinking about the next thing.
Yeah.
You should,
We're
but not
cursed
spending
with that
too
in
much
this-
of your time like that. You know,
We're cursed with that in this day and age of.
and not really. It's
Kind
only
of
this like countries like this, the developed nations. Because if you go abroad, like
Yeah,
motherfuckers
I
are living
know.
life at a much slower pace. They're doing what they need to do to survive, but
we
they're
don't-
not
we
like
don't-
putting so
we-
much stake
we-
in every material thing that you can
You're
have.
right,
You know,
but we don't live there.
we don't,
We
but
live here.
we
This is our
also
reality.
live in here. You know what I mean?
There's our reality. So, but the thing is, in the place we live, to get to that point of living in a little bit more simpler manner or more in the moment, you have to kind of get to the point of that in terms of your stability in life.
Yeah.
Right. You got to pay for your home, your car, your life.
But yeah, because
Everything
if
is
you're-
expensive.
If you're broke and you're trying to figure
You're not
out
gonna
what
do
you're
it.
gonna, you're not gonna be able to
You
relax.
can't. But at the same time, I'm trying to remember. So I just seen him. I was telling Vivi, I keep seeing that meme. If you work hard, treat yourself. Don't be ashamed to do it because you're here. We're not really here for a long time. We're here for. I always hated this, but we're here for a good time, not a long time type.
You know,
of shit. But it's something I keep trying to remind myself. Like I'd be feeling guilty about buying little shit like socks. Like I don't even need. To
I've
buy
never
socks.
experienced guilt buying socks. I've experienced frustration, like why the fuck do these socks keep getting holes in them and shit? Like these cheap ass Hanes.
I just threw a pair of socks away yesterday. I saw.
But
I looked
It's
at
not
my
even cheap.
It's
You
not
spend
cheap.
$25 for a 6-pack. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers should last. Like, they should be built for tough.
Well, I find that
I
like
buy Nike, Jordan, and I buy and one have really nice socks.
you know who's got good socks? Is I just put them out. I just started wearing them. Well, I only have 2 pairs
Oh,
because
I have Stance too.
that's what I was just about to say. Stance, because I was at fucking Target looking for undershirts. Yet again, they don't have them. I swear to God,
It's weird.
I pulled the guy. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" It's been like a
I've
month.
been
He was
looking
like,
for 'em, too.
he's like, the suppliers are fucking not really delivering them. He's like, hopefully soon we start getting them.
Since Michael Jordan stopped doing the commercials, nobody wants to wear them anymore.
You just got to order online. That's the only way you're gonna get them, to get them off the phone.
That's what it is.
But yeah, but I looked
used
and
to
they
mess
had
with,
Stance, and
Bobbas.
they were like a pair of Stance socks for clearance of like $5, I think. I was like, well, that's
Don't they like they're like an NBA sponsor, right?
I believe so. They're good socks.
I used to
Well, they
use
do a lot of
Bobbas.
different things too, though. They have like sponsored, or excuse me, they have movie sponsorships. They have, I guess there's a few like cartoons that they have sponsorships with. Yeah,
It would be dope to put together some sort of a clothing brand, you know?
I've always wanted to do it.
Talk
I
about
want
it
to
all
make
the time.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like I would like to go get something purposeful, like a sock, like create your own sock.
I mean,
You know,
that's how
something
you.
that's to
It's
your
kind of how you start your own brand, right?
yeah.
Bottom
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I mean, listen, my goal has been for the longest time just to wear Kiona and Kasson stuff on the pod, you know, and then I'd like to extend
We
that.
only have 2 shirts and
Well, no. I mean, obviously, but I mean, like, develop more. You know, I want to get like instead of buying a New Era hat with a Cubs logo on it, next time I want to get like a patch with the
I
logo on it. and
almost
shit, you know?
inquired about that when I went to Lids to get that last hat.
It's not cheap to get a custom hat like that. You know, you can end up spending like $70 to get like what you want.
that doesn't surprise me though.
You know,
I mean,
but-
it's custom.
I also am a fitted hat person. Like if you get the snapbacks or buckle backs like you have on,
I
then them
like
shits are a
all
little
3
bit
of them,
cheaper,
man. They
but,
all have their time and place for me.
well, as you get older, dad
I hear
hats.
that.
You know,
Well, I like fitted. I just bought a fitted. What you talking about? What you talking about, man?
they gotta be interchangeable and whatnot. You know.
You knew?
But all right, man. Was there some important things we should probably talk about? No,
I have no clue.
I don't know if there's like important things, but just things that are interesting, I suppose. I screenshotted some stuff, but I don't know where them shits is at. Oh, Vince McMahon retired.
Yeah.
He announced his retirement.
So
Finally,
I'm not surprised.
What? So like
Yo.
from wrestling?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
he's
thought
retired.
he was already.
Well, he's retired from being. I
Like
think
the day-to-day shit.
Yeah, he's relinquishing control of it, I believe, and it's going to somebody that's already in place, and Stephanie McMahon are going to be CEOs.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, he's had some sexual allegations and shit like that.
Oh, really?
And he's old as shit.
You
You
know?
know, at this point, like,
Yeah.
he was old
Hey,
in
if
the
they
90s
accepted
era.
the money,
like, he's
that's
old now.
if they accepted the money, how can they bring it back like this?
Because there's criminal and civil suits.
Yeah, but they took money.
I don't know how it all works.
I mean, I don't know
Doesn't
how
make
it
'em
works
less
either.
guilty.
No, it doesn't make them any less guilty, but like the idea that,
The settling out of court. and
well,
then
doesn't that
bringing it
make
to
them
court.
look kind of like, all right, well, that's cool, you brought it back, and we
I mean,
appreciate it.
especially if like they didn't spend the money and they just have it as proof, you know.
So you don't think they've spent that money?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Well.
a way.
Well, I got to imagine Vince McMahon's lawyers made sure everything was airtight, you
They
know,
would
because
have
he's
to.
also
I mean,
extraordinarily rich.
I just mean in
so-
terms of what those victims, and there are victims, look like to the authorities or to the
viewing public.
jurors, based on the fact that they are willing to accept the money then, right? And now they've decided to come forward now. Like, how where you were for sale then, but not now.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, those things are
like they're
complicated.
still victims, and he's still an asshole for whatever he did. But I just mean in terms of how you really look at it. Like, can you say that? Well, you didn't. You took the money instead of actually bringing it forward. So what was? And now you've come forward. Where's the money? Have you spent it? Now you don't. Now you regret it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all.
I know it's a
It's all
sticky thing,
touchy.
and I don't
It
know. It
is,
is
yeah.
touchy. And they're 100% still victims, and he's still an ass.
Yeah.
But I just mean in terms of the way
But if you decide
look,
to settle outside
the
of
way
court
you
and
look-
then you decide to bring it to court,
the
then
way
it's-
you look is like you signed
Sure.
the NDA,
Sure.
and now you reneged on that. You don't want to do that, you know.
Right.
Like,
And all those things are sketchy too. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Nobody knows what happened specifically besides them, and it's all alleged until it's proven. And that's why I try to keep my hands out of it because I don't know, you know.
I'm agreeing. But yeah, listen. Also, you got to acknowledge what he's done for wrestling. He did a lot to bring wrestling to where it is now, like as big a spectacle as it has been. I think obviously for us, we're biased but the Attitude Era was probably the peak.
Well,
of
no,
what
the
he
Attitude Era
created.
was like if you watch any of the documentaries or anything that involves in that time frame, like the reason why the WWF took off, and it was WWF at the time, the reason why it took off what it was is having people like Stone Cold come in and attract the crowds, and like he's behind us and in front of us.
100% pure whoop ass.
That's right.
But no, like a lot of
Son.
a lot of the big characters from that era are the
that-
reason why it became the big thing that it was. Like
Yeah.
obviously you had your Andre the Giants, Hulk Hogan's, and all of them from back in the
Man.
day.
No, I
but
mean,
That
you
was
have to
that was
give-
my favorite generation.
You have to give Hulk Hogan his flowers 100%. I think people like him and
but like the having the
the
majority
Macho
of the
Man
eyes,
Randy Savage and
bringing all the
and
eyes to
Ultimate
it. That
Woo!
Ric Flair,
Ric Flair,
of
you
course.
know?
Yeah.
But like bringing all
Ultimate
the
Warrior for sure.
Jake the
like
Snake.
Jake the Snake. There's a lot of
and
them.
those things. The problem is they were just more cult following for a while, right? Like not everybody was super into it, and then the '90s brought like a
I am man. Oh, never mind. I don't want to.
it brought like a world entertainment. You know what I mean? Like it caught everybody's eye because it wasn't just like athletic freaking wrestlers jumping off top ropes.
It became a soap opera.
Yeah,
It became a
there's
soap opera
storyline
of
with
sorts.
it, and you know,
And we followed that. Like every Monday when we would follow Raw, we were like waiting for the continuation of what we saw the last week and
Right.
why.
and then eventually they brought SmackDown. Oh, Thursdays too. Now
Yep.
great. You know?
Right.
you know, and it became more than just like you said the athletic spectacle that it was. And let's be perfectly honest, a lot
They're
of these guys
athletes,
were
yo.
just no. Back then they were athletes, but they were kind of fat and just.
Yeah. But now, yeah. Like
You know?
after that era came, they ushered in like
Yo,
it's
Big Show got a big upper body, small lower body ass. Like
SpongeBob SquarePants ass.
This motherfucker looked like he should not be able to hold his upper body up.
Yeah.
But he was extraordinarily strong though. He brought that Titantron down.
Remember, he's like, "Ugh," but I think I'm pretty sure there was somebody that pressed the button and allowed it down.
I'd imagine so, right?
Maybe, but I don't know. I mean,
Listen,
I know obviously like a lot of it was the show.
It's all a
of it,
show,
you know?
yeah.
as the Attitude Era became more of a thing, you started to watch like the X-Pacs and the fucking and the
D-Generation X.
like but even that what was dude's name that did the Swanton Bomb?
The Hardy Brothers.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys and shit like
Yeah.
that, and like the Dudley Boys, how they were they were violent, man. The
Yeah.
Acolyte Protection Agency, that was my guys, man.
Yeah.
I used to fuck with that so heavy. But that's
fucking
when
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, like the world's strongest man, shit like that. No, 100%. I do believe that.
They made it just like they were able to bring the fans in to it a little bit more, you know.
It
And
draws you in when there's a storyline and you can connect with somebody because of
just,
how you like whatever it was. If you liked Undertaker, it's probably because you were kind of like, I don't know, undead yourself. I couldn't tell you.
that whole thing was weird because then he came
He
back
was
as a biker for a while.
You know what I used to think about is his eyes used to probably really hurt because remember he used to do the
You like the Twitch?
the
Right.
like dude, your eyes gotta fucking hurt when you do that.
Like it's just all the white now. That's all I see.
Like
Right.
he's probably got a headache right now. That's
But we used to like it's funny because we used to emulate all that shit,
Totally.
right? And
All
then
of it.
mom's like, "Yo, stop putting your eyes in the back of your head."
Thank you, dude. That is not gonna end up well.
It's like your eyes
That's
are
the
all.
one-
They were telling me your eyes are already fucked up.
Of all of the myths or the old wives' tales, I also want to evaluate that term.
Old wise.
Huh?
Old wise tales.
Old wives' tales.
Wise tales.
It's old wives' tales.
Wise.
Yeah, it was wives.
Wise.
Wives.
Wives with a V.
Well, it's wise.
It's old wives.
No, you guys are wrong.
Huh?
No, you guys are wrong.
Adam.
Oh, right. Let's see. Old wives' tale.
Yeah.
Old wives' tale. So both of them populate things, but
That doesn't help anything. Just look up which one is which. Like, is it old wives' tale or
old wives versus old wise.
Yeah.
Let's see here. An old wives' tale is a belief or superstition that is commonly believed. And an I don't know. I think they both just exist.
They both have, so it just it's like you know how there's gray and gray are the same thing.
they're interchangeable,
GRAY and
Right.
GREY are both
Yo,
acceptable.
the English language, as in the United States, is real stupid.
Very stupid.
Abroad, they do things more, reasonably. We just kind of adopted everything that everybody else does
Yeah,
and
but
turned it into our own.
This dialect of English
metric system.
really lends itself better to rap than the British version.
Not
And,
true. True.
Tuesday.
And there's a couple.
It's like when they rap in there, it's like, I went to the store to get some milk. I didn't like it, but they did it anyway. That was kind of gay. That's how they rap out there.
Yeah, kind of.
No, it's really just that. It doesn't. They're all in the same cadence. Nobody has it's all the same.
Man,
Pretty much.
you can't just lump them in.
It is, mate. I'll tell you. Everybody raps this way where I'm from. I'm from. That's what they say. From. I'm sorry, England. You guys just talk so funny to me.
You sound like you're from England.
Yo,
I'm from
with my
England.
luck, I'm
They're
gonna go
gonna
to
hate
England,
us.
and the only place
They
I'll
already
ever
hate
be
us.
recognized.
No, it's funny
with
because
my,
they-
no. With my luck, the only place I'm ever gonna be fucking recognized is in London. Because of this.
And they're
From
just
this
gonna throw
podcast.
things at you when they
They
see
were
you.
like, "Oh, we talk like this all where from we're from, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, bloke." I'm gonna run away, but I'm gonna be laughing. while
Well,
I'm doing
first of
it.
all, listen, they already do all hate us, right?
Yes.
But it's funny, I was listening to Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast thing, and he was like, what I want to do, he's like, I want to go and get really fluent in French. He's like, go there and do a comedy set in French and just destroy their entire culture. He's like, because they he's like, all right, so you go over there and you like try to learn a few words in French, and then they ridicule you for like fucking up their language, and then they'll come here and they'll fuck up our entire language. So it's okay when you do it. Like,
I'm American.
That's amazing.
I'll be dying laughing listening to that guy, man. But
That's funny.
on the subject of throwing things at you, did you guys see like Kid Cudi just got a bunch of things thrown
that
at
was
him?
whack.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
That was
Yeah, it was some
whack.
bullshit.
That shit smacked him right in the face. I'd have been like, all right, well, fuck him up.
It was at Rolling Loud, I believe.
Yeah, it was. And even then, I'm like, you guys should be here for him.
Yeah.
And a lot of
I
them were
would've-
like, people were like mad that he decided to walk off, and then, but like,
Understood.
if people are throwing things at you on the stage,
No,
you know,
yeah,
fuck you,
I-
I'm off this
one
stage.
hundred-
I would have
100%
stopped
would
the show
support
like,
that.
all right, listen,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even say it again. Y'all want the show to continue? Figure a way to get him out, or do what you got to do with him.
He basically said, he's like, yo, if y'all throw one more motherfucking thing up on
did.
this stage, I'm
He snapped.
leaving.
It was like several times they were doing that. He told them to stop. And it's like, okay, I'm done.
Yo, people are the worst, man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
fuck
They just
things
ruin
up
shit for
everybody.
themselves. They want to blame the person, for having a reaction.
And I'm sure
to
they
it.
were on Twitter 10 minutes later, like,
You know
oh,
they
fuck
were
Kid Cudi.
trashing them, all that. I bet you. Yeah,
I hate the world we live in today.
That's why I
man.
don't go to shows.
it's shitty.
None of that is worth it anymore to go to any of these fucking events because anything like that can turn into something crazy.
Yeah.
I get you.
Well, I was listening like to Damon Wayans. He was on Breakfast Club talking, right? And he was like, they're asking about comedy and the state of things and like when you're on stage. And he's like, listen, people pay to come and see the show. They want to laugh. Like now it's on you to like make that happen, right? And I was like, I kind of disagree with that now because people are, they go there to troll you. Like if not everybody's there because they want to be entertained by the comedian.
get you.
And if you're not there because you legit like this comedian and you want to like laugh and have a good time, then get the fuck out of here, yo.
So
You
yeah,
fucking
it
things up.
isn't as simple as I don't like this comedian. I'm not gonna go see him. It's like I don't like him. I'm gonna go see him and make sure that he knows that in some way.
It's so stupid, man. I was watching some other thing. It was like an amateur comedian, like right after the Chris Rock Will Smith thing.
Yeah.
And he was on stage. He was like, "I dare one of y'all to come up here, right?" So he like some guy was yelling at him from the audience, and he was yelling back. And then he was like, "All right, well, come on up here." So he came up there, and he like as the guy was running to the stage, he walked up and grabbed a gun. And he was like, "Yep, wrong guy." And then he would turn around and just jet it straight out the door. I was like, "Good." You kind of need that, Like you shouldn't have to be. That's in your workplace feeling unsafe,
Right.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have to experience
Don't get me
that.
wrong. I don't think that you should be like, because that set a really weird precedent because when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, it was for a seemingly harmless joke, right?
Mild.
It's a fucked up thing. I get it, but it's seemingly mild compared to what you would assume would prompt somebody to come up on stage and try to fight you.
First of all, he was laughing at it,
He was.
Yeah, it's
and
because-
then she looked at him.
don't get
and
me
then he-
started on Jada.
We always say that.
She's a runner. She's a track
And that
star.
was that was Damon Wayans' like whole thought process. He was like, "Yo, if you watch it, he's like a weird like switch hit."
It did.
He's like, he was laughing. He saw his wife was like, "Nope," and he was like, "All right, get up." And like everybody was just kind of obviously
Dude,
knows the story by now.
I
But
told you
Yeah.
what happened. I was asleep. Vivi woke me up and said, Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock. And I was like, Chris what? Like, who Chris what? And then literally fucking, I watch it. I'm like, I don't even think it registered that was true. I just went to sleep.
I
And
get
then
you.
the next morning I woke up
And
like,
yeah, the whole world blew
what
up
the
then.
fuck?
yeah,
Yeah, like it was such a slap, and then to see Chris Rock's face afterwards when he presented Questlove with his award,
Right.
he was like still in this like state of like
Yeah, Damon was like, "Yo, if he did that," they asked him like, "Oh, what would happen? Like, if would you have like the same reaction? Would you be able to keep your cool the way Chris Rock did?" He was like, "We would still be fighting today." He was like, "We would still be currently going at it."
It would be like Peter and the chicken.
He's like
exactly that.
He's
I
like Will
missed that.
Smith.
I missed that.
He's like Will Smith hit a 50-pound man. Like,
Right.
But he's like, not to take anything away from Chris. Like, I love Chris. It's like, but he's not. His
he's
stature is not that of a
We've
fighter.
been
Like,
through this. He's a small-framed man. His shoulders are like really narrow.
Yeah.
He's not primed for fighting.
I don't
He
want
was,
to get into all of that, man. I'm
he's
sure
not-
Chris Rock can hold his own.
No, I don't think that's the truth. He really isn't. He's known to not be able to have been able.
All right.
Maybe he's equipped himself otherwise. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
and Will Smith, who's like probably 6'2", and like a fairly long. He played Ali.
Yeah.
There's a reason Chris Rock ain't played Ali. Okay.
and I mean, listen, when you think about it, obviously it's like in the moment you got to kind of, but he made smarter decisions for his career.
Sure.
Luckily, like I'm a huge Chris Rock fan.
I wouldn't
So-
know. I don't give a fuck. I wish I would have liked to have seen him like give him.
So I feel like there had to be. So Chris Rock had to keep his composure.
I'd have hit him with the
You
microphone
can't
if
have
I
a
had to
fight
do
then,
anything.
like
Yeah,
on
I would have.
stage, because then you're both thrown out and then you both look bad.
Well, they didn't even throw Will out.
They gave him an award after.
But he's banned though now. For
Well, now,
like
yeah.
should ban
20
him from a
years or
lot
some
of
shit
things.
Like that.
That's
I
what
don't
you
know.
should do.
We did. You got blacklisted from a lot of shit. I
Fuck
hate that term.
that.
But
Yeah.
I don't like. Listen, I respect Will for what he's done, but I don't like what he allows himself to become in the latest stages of his life.
His
Like, he
woman
seems to
changed
become
his
a-
damn world.
He's become kind
I
of a
just think
sucker,
he
dude.
needs more help or needs
Of course,
help.
probably, but
Not to
He needs
say
to
it's
just
a
let
crisis,
go of the
but-
woman who won't fucking actually respect him.
Yeah, they need to get a divorce.
Like if she refuses to respect you,
But also, that's not my relationship, so I can't.
no,
say
for sure. But there's women who's worth doing that, and there's a woman who
get
treats
you.
you like
Like,
a
there's
sucker,
a-
and you're
okay,
not. You know,
I get you.
I don't know. All I'm saying
Well, we've been
is,
through that.
if I
We've
was
been
Chris
through that
Rock, I'd have listen. There's
Yeah,
a
man,
reason
I
why.
don't know if I would have been able to hold it like you did.
Oh, those
No,
are new
no.
glasses. I like them, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I was just wondering.
Upgrade.
They do look nice.
Thanks.
I like the frames.
Yeah, most definitely.
The little Ray-Ban, decided to
Nice.
step it up from whatever the brand that wasn't actually a brand that I had last time.
You
Fucks
got a
with
little
it.
tint on the.
No, they have like the blue light.
The blue
thing to,
light
like,
cut.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put all the bells and whistles that you could put on some glasses.
Oh,
Look at
the
what?
fixins.
The only thing it doesn't have the transition, right? So you walk out into the,
gravy.
yeah. But nah, appreciate that, guys.
No doubt, no
good.
doubt. You know what's funny? Like, I guess we can get off the Chris Rock thing because besides the fact I was just gonna say they should. I wish
I
he knew
think
that
so,
punch.
man. I mean,
that
at
would
least
make you
I
be
would've.
yourself. Imagine if he knew that punch.
Hit him in the jejunum.
And
make
he,
him-
no, he,
The
he
jejunum,
punched him
I
in the
love
right
that
spot,
word.
right where he peed himself on stage.
Yeah.
I think Chris Rock gets respect and also doesn't get fucked with ever again.
I would have Rochambeaued
Say
his
something
ass.
about my narrow shoulders, motherfucker.
So when I
Say
was-
something about my narrow shoulders.
When I was watching it, I was like, what if? Well, rather, so I saw it, and then I thought after, I was like, what if Chris Rock like dodged it and then got Will?
That's what I really wish happened.
I would have had
Like,
so much
I wish he
respect
would
for that
have
shit.
been like,
Well, that's why it was confusing because he kind of like leaned in, like, "What's happening, Will?"
Well, because he thought it was, I don't know, maybe he thought it was a joke or something.
Yeah.
I don't
like
know.
he was probably like, what are you gonna
Well,
say?
because Will Smith's a
Right,
comedian
right.
too, right? So you think like, oh, he's not coming up here to like.
Oh,
fight me.
there's so much to that, man.
It should have been really dope if he was like, it was like in the
But I
last,
also
in the
don't like
last
how it was
Dragon.
made a big thing though, because it was really blown out, and then like
It was just a bad place for him. Man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
He
too big of a
wasn't-
live stage.
Man.
He didn't handle things where he should have.
I just
Dude.
wish he would have handled himself like in the last.
If I'm
Dragon.
Chris Rock-
who's the master? He's like, I am.
yo, they actually just talked about that in All the Smoke.
Oh,
I
really?
forgot who the guest was, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
then-
They picked out the cast, like,
Don't
who they
you
would want. Yeah.
I picture it in my head like Will swinging. He's like, "Shh, don't do that, Will.
If I'm Chris Rock and I don't think that I could physically take you, I'm kicking you in the
see
balls.
it.
I'm fighting dirty.
Man,
We're both
I
heading
don't
off the
know,
stage
man.
in a bad way.
Listen,
Something would
he's a
happen.
better man than I am in that
Exactly.
regard, and I'll say that. And then we can get off the topic, I guess, because we've spoken
Well,
about
kind of.
it in
Bef-
droves.
In a slightly related thing, he was on Kevin Hart's Heart to Heart thing, right?
I got a beef with that fucking podcast.
I haven't heard
You
of
don't
it.
need no fucking podcast, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Get off the podcast
Hey,
scene.
He's got several shows
He's
that
one
are
of the
doing
few people
crazy numbers.
who
like-
had Jay-Z in an interview recently.
He had
like-
Jay-Z. He got Chris Rock, but he put it.
I know that's what I was
It
talking
was
about.
recorded prior.
Yes, he did. Well, no.
Yeah, it was. It was. It says recorded in the January 22nd. I think that's prior to the fight, to the slap.
I don't really know exactly.
I thought
I'm
I
pretty sure it
didn't
is,
see
though.
that part. I just watched it, but I don't know. But yeah, so I mean,
Don't need no fucking podcast.
at least at that point, Chris Rock was in like a good place.
Yeah.
Seems happy.
He seems
with his
okay.
life,
He's fucking somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
divorced, so he's doing what he got to do.
Wanda Sykes spoke out on it
Yeah, a lot of people don't fuck with Will
because she
of
was
this.
there with it, and she's like, I almost went on stage for him, for Chris.
A lot of
Knocked
people
him
don't
out.
fuck with
She
Will
said
off
that
of
she
this
stood up
alone.
and was like ready.
I love Wanda Sykes, man.
I truly do. Man.
Wanda Sykes is hilarious.
If you guys watch the Upshaws,
Perfectly.
Yeah.
She's like such a candid and like genuine. It's like I love Wanda Sykes, man. She's funny.
that man who got shot in the park today, that was my brother.
What the fuck? Didn't she have the Wanda Sykes show? That was a good show.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wanda
Yeah,
Sykes.
respect.
Legendary
Respect.
comedian too, man.
Hell
Seriously.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the Upshaws, she walks with like that cane, right? Is that like a real
I don't
situation
know.
she has in life? Because it hurt me to see her like that. I'm like, no.
We're getting
Because
older,
when I
bruh.
saw her, or rather, every time I've seen her, she was sitting down. I would imagine for like an interview or something like that. So I haven't seen her like in action.
We're getting a little bit older, bruh.
Yeah.
Because the last thing she was in that I saw was that probably Upshaw's, but before that, like Curb.
Oh yeah, and
You
she's
know.
not in Curb anymore.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know if that's still running or not.
It is.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
I think
Then
they're gonna,
I
they're
haven't
gonna
seen the
record
new
the
stuff
next
then.
season. I think some now.
I dropped off earlier.
I
then.
think that
Yeah.
show can't stop happening because he keeps having experiences.
Well, it's just his life.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like he
Yeah.
must have had.
That's the actual show about nothing.
Until-
Every year he gets.
Respectfully, he passes.
Exactly,
But like,
you know.
he's never gonna stop. He doesn't have to.
The Larry
Every year
David
he
is
gets 12. He gets his 12 episodes worth of things. Like, well, that happened to me. That's an episode, right? Like,
But it's funny because like that's like the actual show about nothing. It started with him just like living
Exactly.
his life and random things happen.
I
And,
heard
I was
Jason
watching.
Alexander was talking about how he realized that Larry David was behind George.
Yeah,
He said
exactly.
we were doing it for like a couple years,
Yeah.
and he's like, I went into the office and I was talking to Larry, and I'm like, I don't get it. So who does this happen to? He's like, what are you talking about? It happened to me the other day. Like,
They just had
like
Meryl was just on Matt's podcast.
I've been
My
watching
Opinion
some
or
clips
whatever.
off that.
Yeah, right.
So he was like, "Yo, with Larry David, he's like, it's funny because he's like, Curb is apparently one of his big favorite shows, and he's like, he'll have like a random thing where he parks at a store and like he'll reach back to like beep the car, makes like the horn noise. He's like, and it'll be like a black guy who happened to be walking by, and he's like, "Yo, I'm not
yeah.
racist. I didn't do that because of that." And he's like, just like stupid things that'll happen to him like that,
That's
like.
funny.
no,
I
it's
was like,
good.
yeah, he's a pretty good.
Pretty
funny guy.
I've been watching some of that, but I do think we got to take a break.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Damn, we got deep fast. All right,
Yeah,
we'll be
yeah,
back.
that's what she said.
Damn.
Not bad.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you put Nas and Primo together, there should be some magic, I haven't really been up to date on my recent Nas projects, so
Yeah, Magic
I still
was Magic was timeless.
I gotta go back and catch up on some things, man.
I think that's like a top 5, I think. Maybe top 3
in his personal catalog.
for me.
I'm still like, my problem has been the same, right? Is like if I was a actual hip hop artist today, I'd be left in the dust because I'm still like I listen to the older shit. I always go back to the shit that there's like certain things that I listen to. Obviously, like new shit comes out, and Nas should by all rights be on that list. But I'm not up to date with his shit, his newer shit.
No, Nas has been killing it, man.
Cause he had like a couple projects early, the last 2-3 years that even though during the EP game, everybody was trying to do. I didn't really care.
Yeah, you've noticed
super
that,
much
right?
for.
Music's been trending back to like full albums.
Yeah, I like it.
Me too.
I mean, obviously, like Chris Brown, when he put out his premium version or whatever after he put out Breezy, and it's like 40 tracks altogether. Like that, some things are too much.
As well.
But if you give me a long album and it's mainly like good songs, I'm with it. I don't. But we're also removed from like that every year and a half you put out a project. How you
Yeah,
kinda
music
drop
comes
whenever you
out
want to,
pretty consistently. A lot of artists. Before there was a time where you release one a year, one every couple years, even one out every 3 years sometimes, and you were just in that particular rhythm of releasing music. Now it's almost like because of the fact that you can just literally record it, keep it digitally, and just dump it right into Spotify and drop something.
And you knew what to expect. Like Jay, you knew who's coming out damn near every year.
You don't have to drop on Fridays or Tuesdays. You just drop whenever the fuck you want.
Which took out a important part of the
The
experience
nostalgia.
for me.
It takes away a lot of the nostalgia that we have.
Going
that
to
we hold
scoop
on
up,
to.
like you have to go and hit Target or
I
Best Buy
do.
or whatever, and you see what's on the new release shelf. You know,
I
and you
miss
go
buying hard copies. I do miss buying actual CDs. I know it was an expense that, whether or not you think it was worth it or not, like it was one that I was willing to, incur because I enjoy
in terms of
that
spending
kind
your
shit.
money, like you spend $11.99 or some shit on an album. If you get one of your favorite artists put out a special edition,
Wait.
he's just licking his paw.
Oh, I thought I heard like music in the background. That's why. Sorry.
But like your favorite artist might put out a special edition and you get like an $18.99. But like in the grand scheme of things, it's not a whole lot of money for the amount of entertainment that it's going to provide you going forward.
Because I don't buy. I know you can buy a digital copy, a digital form, based on whatever was it, Apple Music or whatever. You can purchase things.
Yeah.
I don't buy. And I know it because Ice on the Joe Budden podcast always talks about it. He's like, you don't own it. If they decide to take it off, you don't have it anymore.
True.
And I understand that, but at the same time, like
At the same time,
If music is
$5 for a month
released-
for unlimited music is really a nice little price. So.
music is released at such a clip now that it's like I could never afford to no matter how much I would
wouldn't
like
want to anyways either.
I wouldn't be able to support everybody because I want to hear your music, but I can't afford to buy 5 projects a year because everybody's releasing 5 projects or a couple singles or what have you. So now I got to purchase all of that.
And
what
it
does a
kills-
single cost on Apple Music?
It depends who the artist is.
Yeah.
You know, it can go up to like $5. Like remember when Jay said your single 99 cents, mine was $4. Still exists. It still exists.
Okay, I was just wondering because like I don't know how singles work, but I don't really fuck with that anymore. Like I said, it's Spotify. I listen to what you release, and I'm okay with that at this point.
And I'll say this: listen, back in the day when you had like a CD player in your car, because they don't make them like that anymore, and you put the CD in, you got a different sound quality than using MP3 format.
Well, people argue that there's a way better sound when it comes to you listening to actual records, like
Yeah,
vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
I collect vinyl, and
You know.
I that's the only thing that I buy now as far as physical
I have a
copies.
few, but I don't have like anything to play them on. So
Yeah, I got a record player.
Before I start going crazy buying a bunch of them, I need to make sure because they're expensive for vinyl, man.
Oh yeah, but no, people say that there's a reason why that those actual vinyls they provide a depth to music that you won't get with digital CDs, and you won't hear it on a streaming platform either.
Yeah.
So I get that, but
I mean, obviously, the world is going to change, and we got to adjust as necessary because clearly, if there's no CD player in the car, they usually have a 9-inch screen now, so you can't really replace that with like a Panasonic.
I'm sure you could put some. Well, no, obviously.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation about how that era of like in dashes, like not necessarily the ones where you used to pull them out. There was back in the 90s they used to have, or even in the 80s they used to have the mobile radio. So you would take it out and it would have a handle and you would pull the whole fucking block out.
Yep.
You'd pull literally this whole metal piece and you'd bring it inside.
Yeah.
And then you go back in your car and you would connect again and pop it back in there.
Yep.
But the thing about that is CDs, but there was no CDs back then. It was tapes. It was tape players. I don't think it was CDs just yet. So tapes don't skip. So like you know how when you would have a CD player in a car, I've been in cars that I've had where like whoever had it before or whatever, they didn't mount it properly, so the CD thing would shake and it would skip while you were driving. You're like, what the fuck? I used to have that. So
And if you listen really well to like some of the artists who were alive during those eras, like Kanye, right? He had a line, "I'm walking around the mall with his radio face off." Like you would take that shit off so nobody would know you've been trying to steal your
That's
shit.
the era I'm talking about. That era when I was driving, when I finally had CD players.
Yeah, because usually you hit the eject button and you can take the whole face off
I
of
could
that
pop.
thing.
Like I had a couple. The one that I had, the last one I remember putting in a car was this Pioneer joint because I used to like Pioneer. But and they
Their
would
speakers
literally,
are really good.
it was motorized, so it would pop out and then slide this way.
Pioneer is still
And it was
some of
just a
like
complete face.
like the premium sound that you put in sometimes Pioneer
Oh,
is
of
still
course,
in
of course.
there. Like,
I was just a big fan of their in dashes back then because that's when you had them.
Yeah.
And then I went on a broke spell for a very long time, and I didn't have any car like that. And then when I finally got a car again, it had a 6-disc in dash, right? Well, that was a 2004, so trying to get all of them out at once was hilarious.
Right.
it was such a funny era though. 'cause,
Like how many do I got? 5?
Like I
One
remember
more of them?
you had a remote for your shit, and you can hit a button like if the cops are nearby, so it can bring the volume down.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
so there was a button called
Remember
there was
that.
a button with the label ATT.
yeah.
Right. I never knew what ATT stand for, so I always just put
Attention.
No, able to talk.
Right.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
That's what I
They should have had
deemed
it I always thought of it as
I don't know
like-
what it was actually supposed to mean, but
Gotcha.
ATT for me meant able to talk.
I always thought of it as like squale. Turn it down. The cop is coming.
Yeah, but that wouldn't translate directly from ATT.
No,
I
it
was just
wouldn't.
watching
No.
Jim Jones on Full Size Run like this morning, and he was talking about that.
That was the joint though, man. I love that song. Turn it down. I think the cops is coming. Squale.
So we were listening. Speaking of music, I watched the Usher, the Tiny Desk, and man, dude, his talent hasn't dwindled. His cool has only gotten more cool.
Yeah, man.
Like,
No, I agree.
I
It
mean, listen,
actually
there was a
really
period
good,
where it was like, oh, Usher has herpes, but then like after that,
they were just trying to find ways to continuously hate on him. And
That was bad.
He's
Well-
one of those that will put his own foot in his mouth.
Yeah,
was a
but
bad look.
the Confessions time was a bad look for him for sure.
Yeah.
He made some of his best music, but it was
Listen up. Where
Yeah.
It's funny because I think on the Joe Budden
every
podcast
time
he
I
was
was
talking
in
about that.
LA, I was with
He was
my
like, if you're not going through some
ex-girlfriend.
toxic shit, you're not gonna make good music. You know?
Yeah, dude. I believe that toxic
That's so
music
true,
is the
though.
best music.
It is.
think so.
When you've been going through some.
Who was Jay talking to? He said when I made Song Cry, I thought that was the most toxic song of all time, and then whoever sampled it, I forgot who fucking sampled it from him. And he was like, "No, it's not toxic. It's honest." You know. I was like, "No, I mean, listen, Jay made Song Cry, and he was like, yeah, it's a toxic song. It's like I'm not gonna shed a tear for you, but you know, I'll let you know that I thought about it."
Like, I really wanted to cry. I just couldn't.
Right.
Can't see him coming down my eyes.
So I gotta make this song cry.
But see, that's when it used to be acceptable to have pride, and it wasn't considered toxic. You know.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole nother conversation to be had there.
Right.
But I'd like to go on to the more lighter note of singers who can't sing, and I'm glad that like Usher cleared up that he could.
Yeah.
Right? Because I said that he doesn't want. I'm behind, so I heard him saying he doesn't want to hear the Usher Chris Brown verses because he doesn't want them to ruin his.
I said some stupid takes sometimes.
But there's no way because
Who the hell is who's gonna go up against him?
No, them against each other.
Yeah, no, but if you didn't have Usher and Chris Brown, who would you put Chris Brown against?
See, that's the thing. But
Who would you put Usher against?
but
there's
you
nobody
can't-
who can compare to those two
most
as far as
definitely not,
catalog
and that's
and
why
ability.
you can't really pit them against each other. You can just kind of put them on a verses and have them go back and forth with some great records.
Well, yeah,
Chris
but that's
Brown,
the idea.
dude,
I mean,
Chris
listen,
Brown is fucking him, man.
for certain artists versus
is, dude.
for certain artists versus is like a competition, right? Showing that I can hang with whoever. But for some people, it should just be a celebration of their music. Like if you have those two on stage together, I don't think they're like they both have respect for each other. They both love each other's
Oh, of
music.
course.
So
Course.
it's gonna be just a celebration of each other. You know, like that should be okay too. It shouldn't have to necessarily be versus. Is actually like versus. Oh, round one. You know, like should be able to champion each other because they're two legends who've made an extremely just positive mark on the game in their respective field. So
Right.
I don't know. I think we should stop framing it as a
Well, it's called verses.
no shit. But there's been verses.
If
where
it wasn't verses, it would be like we're coming to play music together.
it wouldn't be so. Not everything is
whack.
gonna be as hostile as when fucking the Locks was facing fucking Dipset. Like it's
man.
not all gonna be that,
was
hostile, man.
Amazing.
What about when Bone Thugs and Harmony faced
3-6?
Fucking.
Well, but you should expect it's gonna be hostile with them.
Dude, Busy Bone was like, first and foremost, this ugly motherfucker, right? And like they were like, what?
Adam.
Got him.
At him.
Yeah, not me.
At him.
Isn't it?
No, it's I don't know, man. There's certain things that you put it on because you know that the fans want to see it. Like
Of course.
I would love to see Chris Brown and Usher go. You know, like Neo, you could probably put him in there
No, I don't
because he's had like 5 classic albums.
Yeah,
that
but I don't think you can't put.
But you don't
Neo.
have that many.
Neo's not in the same. He's just not, unfortunately, based off of just. Usher's been around since he was 16 years old.
Yeah, but
Yo,
Usher
one
is
of the
an
funniest things
anomaly
of all
in that
time
way, you know?
occurred to me, right? I was talking to Vivi about it because I was watching the Tiny Desk. She was sitting there with me. I was like, so when I first got my first Discman, right? This for all those youngins out there, that is what they used to call a
CD player.
Walkman, which is also something you probably don't know. So it's basically a mobile CD player that is about this big, and you walk around with it.
I think we talked about having an anti-skip button being full
Yeah.
of shit.
So when I first got mine, right,
This shit don't work.
Mom got me the CD player for Christmas, and for that I got the CD player for something else, like my birthday or something, and I asked for a CD for Christmas, and my mom, because at this point I was like 11, 12. They still weren't willing to buy me explicit lyric things, right? Rightfully so.
Nah, she was always down to buy it. Pops was the one who was against it.
No. Well, yeah, but
She bought me Marshall Mathers LP. I was like 9.
Well, I think at that point it was a little bit. Well, maybe not. I don't know. For some reason, at this point she wasn't.
She doesn't like you.
She was just trying to find a way not to give me like explicit content, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny. That's fine. I had some still. I wouldn't buy. If I had money, I'd buy them. So she bought me Usher My Way, right?
Right.
Explicit content on there. It says it in order to avoid buying me music with explicit content on it. But Usher My Way is pretty explicit. He's like, oh, baby, tell me what you want to do with me. Like, he's 16 years old.
I mean,
how does he even have a drop
sexual
top
content,
cruising the street? Isn't there curfew? What is Usher doing at 7 o'clock on the dot cruising the street?
Well,
I
7
mean,
o'clock
that's
is not
not bad.
curfew.
He's
That's
got a
not
real
bad.
pretty lady that's waiting for him. Where the fuck? Look at, man. Where's the father of this little bitch? Like, evaluate these lyrics.
Was he
Toxic.
was he 16 at that time though?
Yeah, Usher was about 16 when he was in the game.
But My Way was 16.
My Way. How old was Usher when he released In My Way?
That was a good album.
You said released it.
What I say
Isn't it?
goes, and I'm in control.
That was a good album.
Badass senorita. Oh, never mind. That was just a rap.
Has Jermaine Dupri always been somebody who people just looked at questionably on like an artist level?
Who?
Jermaine
think so.
Dupri.
They've
Because I've never looked at him like, oh yeah, he's a
I
fire
think
artist.
the biggest question that came about is how he got Janet Jackson.
Man.
I mean, listen, I would never take anything that he away from him that he does as like a
Sure.
you know, like I don't know, management, whatever little hats that he wore outside of the artistry. shit.
Producer, management.
Yeah, like I mean, listen, what's that song him and Jay did? And for a while, we a Jaguar switching for
Money ain't a thing.
yeah, money ain't a thing. Couldn't get the name of the song in my head there, but he had his moments. He's just not like somebody who I would check for musically.
I get
Like
you.
I like the fact that he's behind a lot of the greatest artists that we've seen. You know?
But he's done a lot more probably than you realized.
True.
Actually, a lot of these
No.
people have like no. 100%.
Same with, Teddy Riley.
There's people
no,
that
I'm aware of what he's done. I'm just saying,
I'm saying
like
there's stuff that you wouldn't even realize he was a part of.
Probably.
That, just like you said, like Teddy Riley. There's a lot of people. Fucking Jay-Z was talking about how he ghost wrote Still Dre, or for both Dre and he was talking about on the reference tracks he did the voices.
That's
Like
funny.
the Snoop Dogg voice, yeah, nephew, like
That's
the
funny.
real like he's like everything was the inflections and that's what the reference track was. But he wrote that.
That's
Jay-Z did a lot of like you're not.
it's so funny when you think about how that
wouldn't
works,
have
right?
known- you didn't
Like he
know-
wrote it, then he was like, all right, this is how it should sound. Now you go.
that you didn't know that Pusha did the McDonald's
McDonald's.
song until
Right.
he said it.
Oh, I love
That's
that
what I'm
shit.
saying. Like you wouldn't know some of the things that he's been a part of that makes him even that.
Well, of
much
course.
greater.
I mean, everybody has. Hopefully, you're working that much where you got some things that people wouldn't expect you to be part of. But like for the most part, I know what he has done for the game and respect it. But as like musically, because I mean, Usher was like he was to Usher basically what Usher is to Justin Bieber.
I get my pieces out in Georgia.
I know it sounds like a weird correlation, but like
You have to do that?
Yeah.
Like, that shit killed my soul just now.
That's what it sounds like.
It sounds exactly like I'm not gonna lie, it does. You're right, but don't hit us with that.
it's like
though.
when he sent us that video of that white girl doing a.
Yo, gee, don't ever.
She
in your
was like,
life, man.
what did she say? What was her?
I don't ever want to
It's
know.
the worst because
again.
like Sam just sends her shit with no caption. Like
Yeah.
it's just like
And
here you
he's
go.
like, this ruined music for me. Enjoy.
Yeah,
the
right.
fuck,
Well, or
motherfucker?
yeah, and then like it's a caption like that. Then like
I can never listen to music ever again because of
Dude,
this.
now watch
Watch it.
this.
it was terrible.
It's like people like, oh, this is stinky. you smell that?
Okay,
Right,
for those who
right,
don't know, there's a
right.
video of this little white girl in
This
a room
tastes bad,
full of
tastes bad.
other white people in something
In a battle rap
in a
setup.
battle that was seemed to
Gee.
be something that was biting like smacks format.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm a white girl and I rap. That's what that sounded like.
This is like Mount Prospect battle.
Yeah, it was
Like,
terrible. Like it was really bad, and I didn't want to listen to music for about a day.
Listen,
He just listened to podcasts, pissed off.
Fucking white bitch little man,
I believe
ruin
it
my
was-
shit.
yeah, there's just certain things you shouldn't have your hand in.
Truly.
Just stop
The cookie
it.
You
jar,
don't,
as
you don't
they
have
say.
to. You
No,
know,
and if you do, don't record it. Just
Don't do it.
Do it in your own personal life
Don't
and
do
shut
it.
up.
because we don't want to hear it.
Nobody wants to hear it.
Shit
Like
is straight trash.
at all. Like your friends probably don't want to hear it.
Shit
you know?
is trash.
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Are you supposed to be looking something up right now? I thought you were-
Oh yeah, just when he did My Way, he was 15.
Yeah, he was 15.
Yeah, he was started it when he's 15. So all those musics and like the My Way. What's the other one?
They all have like Chris
7
Brown.
o'clock on
Chris
the
Brown was
dot.
like,
I forgot the name of that one.
it's like when Chris Brown said, "I can definitely show you things that'll have you saying I can't be 16." I don't think they realize how old 16 is.
How old is 16 really?
That's what we really got to ask ourselves here, you know.
Go. I had a girl, but she played with you.
Well, listen, I mean, hats off obviously to Usher.
Chris
He's had
Brown
an outstanding.
is definitely that guy, man. Because honestly,
I guess so.
from
very
back
talented.
then,
Oh, you're right.
He's very talented. Unfortunately, you know, he had his problems in his career.
Yeah.
You know,
What
but
about Mole?
Girl.
No. I was thinking Mario, but Mario ain't got enough hits though.
no?
That was like,
No,
that was
he
like the
doesn't.
same
Well,
era
they
though.
He
you
just
know?
lost, or he didn't lose, but he won the battle against Omarion, right?
Who? Mario?
Mario.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was on there. My fault.
Yeah, this happened like a month ago.
But
right?
it was overshadowed by Ray J's terrible singing.
So that's what I thought. I thought it was Ray J against Omarion.
they were like the undercard.
God,
he sang so
He was
terribly.
against
Yo,
Sammy,
I
right?
saw.
Like,
I saw. Oh, Sammy! Holy shit!
yeah.
That's a name. I
Tis
haven't
a
heard that
name.
in a minute.
No, that's
pretty funny.
Those verses be funny, man.
What was Sammy's song?
I don't know.
His single?
That's how much of an impact he made.
I guess. Yeah.
That's why he was on the undercard.
I can't be.
He was part of Bad Boy, right?
fantasy. You say I'm just a friend. Isn't that
Biz Markie?
Yeah,
No,
that was
there's,
the Biz.
Yeah, no, but
Rest in peace.
somebody did a remix of R&B. I can't remember which one it is. I don't think it's any of those guys, but
No, they've done that
I think
a
I
few
was
times.
talking about though.
yeah,
They've done that a few times with that song, though. You know,
of course.
obviously,
You know,
Biz Markie has the most notable version of it. So
of
Man.
course. You know, I was thinking about when we were talking about your glasses.
they keep fogging up, man. Hot in here.
It's getting hot.
What's on here?
Yeah. All the technology on these glasses doesn't have anti-fog.
I thought you were gonna say it doesn't have fucking AC on these bitches.
These have anti-fog, right?
Anti-fog.
I'm gonna just take these off for a minute and sit them right
I
here.
mean,
you know?
I'm sure you don't need them to see what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I ain't writing or reading right now. You know?
You can't see what I'm saying right now, guys.
It's a real thing, you know. For glasses people, they'll tell you if they're like trying to. Hey,
Let
let me.
see what you're saying.
Yeah, like trying to get a thought out. Let me put my glasses on, man. Let me,
Really? Like you can see better through your mind with the glasses?
I can't explain the psychology behind it,
Oh, now my mind's clear because my glasses are on.
but it's like there's something to it, you know.
No.
It's like a safety net, right? Like if you're riding a motorcycle and you don't have a helmet on, you know you have probably a higher chance of dying if you fall off your bike. But if you put your helmet on, there's like a certain sense of
Yo,
security.
you ever see a guy on
suppose
a
so.
bike with like shorts and you're like, dude, that scares me for you a little bit. Like,
Wait, what do you mean?
like a guy on a bike riding a motorcycle.
Oh,
not a
got
bicycle.
it.
Like,
Yes,
Then
because
yes.
when we went to Yellowstone, Sturgis was happening, so we saw all of that nonsense.
yeah, dude. Like, what are you doing? You got nothing to
You
cover your
said
legs.
nonsense.
I was like, there's not even hot biker
It's
chicks
a bunch of nonsense.
here. Like, there should be some, you know.
Well, back to the sunglasses. I was so man, Ray-Ban are good, but I was looking at that other brand I use, Blenders. There's always something, right? Something about the.
Well, you should never spend a large amount of money on your glasses.
Well, no, I'm good now because I've started to wear a specific.
How many times have you lost a pair in ocean, Mr. I'm
Okay,
good
so
now.
let's just talk about this for a second. Let's talk about it. So,
That's the
in the Dominican, when we were there in 2015,
Right.
I had a pair of Ray-Bans that I had bought.
Word.
Lost
word.
those, right? It is what it is.
Jaffiel.
But also, I lost a pair of Ray-Bans at Home Depot once.
How's that happen?
I don't know. It just did.
Damn, boy.
You know?
Was
so then,
snoring.
but then, once in Puerto Rico last year, I lost another pair of sunglasses that I liked that weren't like Ray-Bans, but they're like middle grade. And I actually like that brand better. So I lost those in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Damn.
And so before I had even got home, I bought those again. And then in Mexico in April, I lost a pair of throwaways like that I had brought specifically for that reason
Gotcha.
that I had bought in Puerto Rico the year before.
But this tells you everything you need to know. You bought glasses with the intent of losing them in the ocean because you knew I'm gonna lose these motherfuckers. in the
No,
ocean.
my new tactic is to bring a pair of
That shit hurts,
like,
man.
Like honestly, buy old
over there
fake
crying
Oakleys.
like Kim Kardashian over her diamond. Like,
I'm not gonna go cry in the car. But no, there is something to it. I do lose a pair of
You gonna
sunglasses.
cry in the car on the way home.
Usually, every trip I do lose a pair of sunglasses. It sucks, but I've gotten to and it's only usually in the ocean because I like to fuck with the waves. So that's why I've decided to buy
then don't go into
throwaways
water
for
with
those.
them,
We bring a beach bag. I have the pair I want to wear on the beach, right?
Yeah.
And then when I'm going in the water, I have the pair for the water because I don't like to be in the salt water without having glasses on because I like my eyes get.
When you get some goggles, man, like
Oh yeah, it's fucking Scuba Steve over here.
That's what
it's
I
meant
do.
for the water, fool.
I'm
Like,
not
the hell you
going.
talking
I'm
about?
not gonna. I don't need goggles.
He thinks he's too cool for shit.
I
and
swear
then he
to
loses all
God,
of his
I don't go
shit.
scuba. I don't go
I
swimming.
swear.
I'm not going swimming.
You're in the salt water.
Dude, I'm not gonna sit there with these
if water
fucking
gets in your
goggles
eye
like this,
and it like
like this.
stings.
What do you mean you're
my
not
freaking
swimming?
eyes.
Like you're in water. Like
Yeah, I'm
it's
not-
like you're one step away
I'm
from
not
it.
trying to see under the water. I'm trying to.
You're
just
saying you're
avoid-
jumping into waves. You're
Yeah.
bound to get splashed.
The
in the eyes.
reason the sunglasses work. Look at the reason the sunglasses.
And if you
work,
want your eyes covered, like, and you're wearing like
No,
what,
the
sunglasses
sunglasses are
versus
perfect.
goggles, like goggles are better.
no, the sunglasses are way better because
How
I don't.
so,
I'm not
sir?
out there fucking taking swimming lessons.
You don't need that-
I
listen.
got, I'm not. I got fucking.
People put goggles on to play basketball on the court. Like you don't have to be going underneath the water to use them, but they are more.
We're talking about water.
They're yes, but I'm saying that they're
That's
more.
a different story.
They
I
make a lot more
support that.
sense.
You need to see.
They're more practical if you're gonna go in the water and then not lose a $200 pair of sunglasses all the time.
People,
you know?
but I've gotten to the point where I buy $10 sunglasses for that reason.
Just go to the gas station nearby and spin the rack.
I usually buy a pair. I usually buy a pair of sunglasses like from the guy on the vendor or whatever on the
Homie, you're
street.
bougie. I'm joking.
No, like
You're bougie.
no, I don't give a fuck, man.
I'm joking.
So look,
There's a lot of shit
I usually
just
will
to
buy a
live
pair
this
from
here
like the street
lifestyle.
vendor. You know,
Sure.
like he out there. I'll be like, all right, let me get a couple pairs, and they're usually like knockoffs. But the thing that I was gonna get at is all of these sunglasses use the same fucking places that cast the frames. They use the same frames for the most part. There's little differences,
You're talking about it's like when the cereal companies who make name brand also make the generic in
like
the same,
honeycombs
same
and
place.
the Aldi honeycombs.
But you notice how there's a taste difference still.
Somewhat. So
That's
what
all-
I'm thinking is they take those like. All right,
Honey
so they're-
squares.
the pair that I
Get a spoon of sugar out of this.
the brand that I like is this brand called Blenders, right? They have some pretty cool sunglasses.
Yeah, they've been advertising more lately. I've seen
Yeah,
more
but
recently.
I've been fucking with them for a few years now.
Okay.
I like them.
Word.
But they're like $60 or something like that, right?
At very least, why don't you do this? You know, they make like the string that you put on the arms of the glasses, so that like if it falls off, it just stays around your neck.
Pretty certain that's not going to help in this situation.
Nah, probably
Some
would.
of these waves that hit me are the reason why I'm losing sunglasses. I'll be sitting there just like, hey, man, bam, just smack the shit out of me. And I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that. And I swear, like, they'll pop
It's
off.
the universe
and my
being
hands-
like, oh, you decided to wear glasses in the
I
water
deserve
again?
it. I deserve it. But I'm accepting of the idea that this can happen. I'm accepting.
So
it.
then adjust.
I do. I
No.
just adjusted by using cheaper sunglasses.
No. That is not
All right, so
adjusting
listen.
to
I
it,
bought
really.
a pair of fake. I bought some Folkleys, right? Not Oakleys.
Some Oakleys.
They were really. I promise you, they couldn't have been much different than the actual frames you got with it. I think where they differ are the polarizations of the lenses.
Of course, the lens is always the part that's
So,
that
so the
costs the most.
frame has to be the same because I promise you, these didn't with my hair. Like when you go with a fresh cut, obviously skinned, whatever, they did not move. Like I didn't lose them for a full Puerto Rico trip. Wait, half a Puerto Rico trip, a full Puerto Rico trip, and then most of Mexico. The last day I lost them
in the water.
in the water, but they were $10. And
Hey,
the
man.
reason I say I want sunglasses, people will listen. I know this is a topic we're unpacking for absolutely no reason, but
Well,
like,
it's just us for us to make fun of the fact that you just won't adjust.
but in the water, like if you're in the water in the salt water and it start like you have no protection at all, sunglasses or goggles, whatever. Like it's hard to like wipe your eyes away with the salt water when your hands are filled with salt water.
Yes.
You're like, what the fuck? I can't see nothing.
Yes.
True.
And
that's
then-
why I said use
then the
goggles like
football-
normal people do in the water.
Yeah, but those fog up. You're gonna be like, you gotta wipe them off.
My man, I don't have
No,
goggles
dog.
on right
No,
now,
no,
and
no,
my
you're wrong,
shit
you're
is
wrong,
fogging
you're
up.
wrong.
You're talking to somebody who's worn glasses since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
If anybody knows how glasses work with fogging, and it's me.
Listen,
I know.
I'm perfectly fine with
That's
the
your boy right
sunglasses
there.
because at least they're not wrapped around my head in some dumb way. Listen, I'll rather lose a pair of $10 sunglasses and look cooler than like you're gonna look walking up with
Really?
these fucking sunglasses.
Really?
I don't care. I'm not cooler as in like, I can.
My man really
afford to
thinks
lose
he's the
up-
Fresh Prince. He really believes it.
I am not the Fresh Prince. If I was the Fresh Prince, we'd have oil money and we'd definitely be rich.
Well, I mean, Will Smith didn't have oil money.
You did not.
And to be true, I would be the prince. You'd be whatever the fuck you'd be,
Like a Carlton.
like a peon.
Yeah, right.
Hey, get my shit, bitch.
He's a Jeffrey.
You'd be Jeffrey. You damn sure wouldn't be me. I'd be the prince. I'm the firstborn.
What's the name
But
of
you'd
it?
probably try to kill me to be.
That's what it was.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I wouldn't mind putting you out of a high-story window. You know?
Roy, whatever they call.
Oh, he slipped. I don't know what happened.
Monarchies or whatever the fucking things are like back in the day.
Hierarchy, yeah. Whatever.
Dude, the fact that these motherfuckers were so ruthless that they wanted to be in power that they would just murder their own brothers and sisters.
Of course.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
It was all about the power, and if you were in my way, sucker, I'm trying to get to the throne. I don't know
I
what
guess
you're talking about.
everybody had like such
That
low
chair
life
looks a lot more comfortable than the other end of this table. I don't know.
I gotta
Right.
sit here and be the jester, make you
Right.
laugh every day.
That's not how it worked. You're not like in the royal family and the jester at the same time. It's not a thing.
Well, you have a place there.
Yeah,
wouldn't be
you
the
have a
prince,
place. Like,
so I
I'm going
gotta
to kill
make
my brother
I'll
to
make
supersede
you
his.
Yeah, you have no
Mad at me, I'm on the boat like,
authority
hey Adam,
or anything
this
like
is
that.
great. You should be over here. I can't. You wouldn't let me. Fuck you.
I would definitely be devising plans to kill you.
I know you would.
But that's
That's
the
why I
culture.
killed
of
you
it.
first.
That's
and
the
I'm
culture of
prince,
that, you know?
So they'd allow it.
Nah, I don't think so. That's the culture of the things.
You killed your
of those
brother.
things,
Like,
though,
yeah, I'm
you
the
know?
prince.
You're supposed to do that.
Murder the guy above you.
Yeah, if Pops decided he wanted to have like 6 kids, and then we were all like, "Oh, well, your older brother is the first one in line for the throne." I'm sorry, but no, you're not.
Just sleep. Just sleep at night like. Gonna have to kill everybody in this bitch.
Yes, yeah.
Going on my chest.
Be walking around the fucking
Or not
whole
even. We'd be
castle
sword
with the guns
fighting
and shit.
or jousting. We'd probably joust.
So this is medieval times.
This is like medieval. That's what I'm talking about. Like medieval.
Oh man, this would be the perfect time to cue up the Family Guy. I have it
Adam
too,
and
but I'm
I
not
are
gonna do
just
it. Nobody calls me a fizzle and gets away with it.
Jousting is hilarious. I don't know how they came up
That's
with
an
it.
intense sport.
I got an idea for how to settle this, guys. You got a horse, right? You got a horse? Cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to meet at opposite ends, and we're going to have these big-ass fucking sticks. Like,
If I knock you off your horse, I win. Like,
Yeah, but
and
like,
everybody's gonna surround you and then beat you to death afterwards.
people
Like,
Is that what
get, like,
happened?
impaled.
Yeah,
you know,
what-
like,
in medieval
they
times,
do,
yes.
That's why they started those steel plates.
right.
Yo,
Yep.
just I
The
know
world
it
is a
was,
funny place,
I know
man.
it was the primitive time. It was
Medieval.
medieval, but it was primitive as well.
Does that mean the middle of evil?
Like
This is the evil times, and this is the
Medieval.
middle of the evil.
when was the full evil?
Now?
Now?
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of fucked up.
Kind
no,
of,
I'm saying
honestly.
like I know it was primitive medieval times, but like yo, it's fucked up some of the shit they had to kind of protect themselves.
But it's all they knew.
Here, just put a big ass steel plate on you. Now I'm running with 50 pounds of just steel.
Everything that sounds fucked up today, from back in the day, they ain't know no better back then.
I'm
like,
saying
you know,
that.
I mean, everything evolves. That's why when people go
telling me
back
you
and try to
didn't-
cancel
the-
people from 15 years ago, it's like, fuck you, sit your dumb ass down. You weren't even like,
Yeah, cancel
you were
culture.
still sucking on your mama titty, and you over here talking about what people did 15 years
Preach.
ago.
They
Nobody
still
wanna hear
sucking
that.
on their mama titties.
Preach.
Or something.
Oh, titty sucking motherfuckers, and not the right way, like your girls. You're still sucking your mom's boobs.
Yes.
Weirdos.
Exactly that. Exactly.
Go find another boob to suck,
I
motherfucker.
don't do that.
No.
Like, if you're gonna suck boobs, go find another titty. Why you gotta keep sucking
I
on
have
your
nipples,
mom's
Greg.
titties?
Can you milk me? Little meet the parents joke for you there.
Meet the Parents is one of those movies I still can't watch. It just makes me uncomfortable for them.
It's really
I'm
bad.
just like, just fucking leave. This bitch ain't worth it. Her dad's gonna give you a lie detector test.
But Ben Stiller's movies are largely like that.
Uncomfortable to watch.
Very true.
To some degree, because of the other co-stars.
The antics,
yeah. You
like
know?
what he does.
Like, I love Ben Stiller. His movies have been great. It's just there's always like some weird little cringy.
Along Came Polly, or not Along Came Polly, Heartbreak Kid. Oh, that
was a
shit
good
is
one.
funny.
Yeah.
That shit is funny, man.
And man, Jerry Stiller was always there with him in a lot of those
Smashing pussies is what he said, or some shit like that.
Smashing pussies.
Hell yeah,
things. Rest in peace, Jerry Stiller, man.
100% rest in peace, Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, it's odd to think that he's gone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that when you realize that they're gone, you're like, oh wow, they did pass.
Or real.
Yep.
You know, but we're getting to that point. We always talk about it, how we're getting a little older, and all the people we looked at growing up are getting older or passing on.
Yep.
Right, because you don't realize how old they were
But
when you
I
first
keep telling you,
noticed
but
them.
that's not that legit. You're halfway wrong there because a lot of them are passing like in mid-50s. That's not old. It's just like I don't know the way shit
it
is
doesn't
working.
change the fact that they've passed.
Well, obviously, and they're getting older.
I said
is
getting
correct.
older and passing. I didn't say that they're.
But they're not like in their 70s, all of them. Like Robert De Niro's in his 70s, but we're not talking about like everybody. Like the people who we grew up
I
watching
didn't
are
say
largely in their 50s.
everybody. I said a lot of them.
I'm just saying a lot of the people
Fuck.
who we actually grew up watching are like 50s, 60s. Like they're not that old. So it's before their time. a lot of the people
Maybe
who have
so,
gone,
but that
you know?
doesn't mean I didn't include any of that in my statement.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty
Said
all-encompassing
some of them
statement.
are getting older
Yeah,
and dying. Some of them are getting older.
Anyways,
and dying.
as another actor who we grew up watching, I watched Hustle this weekend. Adam Sandler new movie.
Still haven't seen it. I'm gonna check
I
it out
think
though.
I think it's perfect.
I think it's a really good movie.
Feel good movie.
Yeah.
Good.
It's
Be-
kind of like a
Because to me, like that's why like, Adam Sandler, I think he belongs in that lane. I don't want to put him say he belongs in that lane, but he makes his best movies there.
it's almost like a Click kind of vibe, right? Where like it's funny, but there's some
Click
drama
was
parts.
sad as hell, man.
There's some
I haven't
drama
seen that
to
movie.
it, you know.
Fucking
Like
sad.
I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but essentially he's a scout for the 76ers. He had hoop dreams, but due to some negligent behavior in college, he
Right.
fucked it up by injury and and then from there, it's kind of like if anybody's familiar with the game NBA 2K, it's like almost as though you made a live action of the My Player
Sure.
thing, right?
Sure.
Showing the journey, like when you didn't take the typical route of going to college, being scouted, declaring for the draft, and then going from there is basically like looking for people who are international players who don't really have eyes on them, and his job is to go and find the raw hidden talent and have them developed ready so that they can go to the combine and make it on the team pretty much. So that's largely like how the movie went. It's Adam Sandler. I mean, it's a good movie. It's funny. There's some wholesome parts to it, of course.
Definitely.
And,
Yeah.
Sarah needs to go unlock the garage door.
oh, all right. Well, I'll be right back.
Can she hold on for like a minute?
Oh yeah.
Can you hold on for 20? Whew. It's warm in here.
A little bit.
Tell my parents, I'm like, I'll stop by for a few minutes. But I'm not coming by for long. Your AC's not working. Mine is.
That shit is real.
Let's go say hello. Hello. It's me.
I didn't give it a suck tomorrow. It'll be like 37 times to cut the shit.
You did it already?
Huh? Yeah. Oh, said to unlock it. The door's already. She's just right out there. Oh Lord. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie, and I would definitely suggest it. I don't want to go too in depth with how things kind of progressed because you haven't seen it yet. But
No, I'm gonna watch it. So by next week, we'll be able to talk about it more.
yeah, it's cool. I mean, listen, Adam Sandler's he's a hooper. That's
Yeah.
like
I like that
another
about him.
passion that he has on the side of things, and
Yeah.
he actually runs with all the NBA players. Like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool. But yeah.
Speaking of passion, it's funny. Like, so I wanted this, like the shirt I'm wearing, right? It's by my guy. His branding is So Shy Clothing Company, right? And if you look on Instagram, it's So Shy Clothing Co. But he's from Chicago. Went to high school with him. My boy Darrell. I believe he's
Shout
doing
out
it
him.
with his brother, right? And I think some of his other family members help. But like I think him and his brother, and they created this clothing line. And this is the first shirt I bought. I'm gonna buy more, but I really enjoy this shirt. It's really it's different. The texture and everything is different.
Yeah.
But I bring that up,
The
right?
ode to Palestine over there.
One is a little plug, and also just because you're saying passion, like right, and like to actually go because this has been on my mind a lot. We were talking about stuff earlier, but just pursuing something that you just enjoy, and I'm trying to figure out like what that really means for me right now. Like I'm like obviously we do this is what we, but I mean like beyond this for me, like not to replace my 9 to 5. What can I replace that with that to me is one, lucrative because you can't survive without money, and two, fulfilling because that's like my next thing right now. Like I just don't know how to where I'm going with that because I know what I like. I just don't know what is, like I said, it has to be. There's got to be some monetary value to whatever I'm gonna do, and I've just been. I mean,
And that's honestly
state.
that's part of what like those that writing shit that I've started to do really has like also been able to help. In a way, like kind of take inventory and take stock of how things currently are, right? So I'm like, if you want to know where you're going, it sounds cliche, but you got to know where you've been and you got to know where you are today. And to be the person who you want to be, you got to know who you are. You know what I mean? So like
right.
being able to like kind of take inventory of those things and just have something to go back and look at. Okay, see where you progress like in a month, right? When I wrote this shit a month ago, this is how, where my mind state was. This is how I believed things looked, and da-da-da. Have I made any progress towards what my actual goal is? Do I have more of a defined, clear goal that I have set forth now? Like,
Yeah.
And it's just been, I think it's just important to be able to like take that kind of roll call,
I think so.
Especially when you have
to
goals
be
and
able
you
to-
want to have like ambitions to get somewhere in life. That's important to also have.
You got to kind of somehow remove yourself from your situation and look at it outside looking in, right? Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what you do, you as in yourself, but like this is what you're doing. This is what you've said you wanted to do. This is how much of that you've achieved, right?
Yeah.
And this is how much time you've actually spent being actually dedicated to it, right? Are you lying to yourself? Are you being too nice to yourself? Right. I think there's a certain sense of that. Like for Vivi, for instance, Vivi sleeps a lot. She likes to sleep. It's a detriment to her because she'll give up time that she can use to get ready for something in a more relaxed fashion. Relaxed, but intently. She'll give up that time so she can like sleep, and I'd be like, you gotta be just kind of be more real with yourself. Like, dude, you're not doing what the fuck you needed. Like, there's things that you have to be able to tell yourself, and you have to be able to take it in from yourself and try to
little
adjust.
hindrances to the progress. But everybody has something like that, and it's just a matter of identifying it and being willing to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
I was watching the Mero on My Expert Opinion or whatever, and he was talking about that's kind of how he got started in the industry in general, right? Just writing things and like, if he's like, if you have a story to tell, if you have anything, get it down on paper, write it down. He's like, I guess what happened initially was Key and Peele, like one of their sketches, he had like a blog or whatever, and he was typing shit out, and somebody from Comedy Central reached out to him, and they were like, oh, like your material is really good, funny, like you're a good writer, and basically like asked him for like a sample of shit.
Right.
And he's like, stupid me, I didn't really have like contract. I didn't like make sure I had everything that I needed. He's like, so I like sent them some shit, and then they took it, and I saw it in like a Key and Peele sketch. He's like, that's not their fault, like Comedy Central, they have writers, and they like whatever, they get the ideas and they put it together and they give it to them, and they do what they do with it. He's like, but all the money. He's like, obviously, I'm doing whatever I do here. We did the Showtime and the I forgot which network they were on before that.
Vice,
right?
Oh, right.
He's like, we had all these things. He's like, but what I'm trying to do is like be the behind the scenes writing and producing. He's like, that's where all the big money's at. He's like, so all you guys out there who are like trying to get into some of this shit, he's like, write. Like, that's my biggest piece of advice I can give you. Write. He's like, even if you don't think it's necessarily the greatest, but you think it's like a good story in general, he's like, write. That's like the best way to get into it.
Get your ideas out. Andrew Schultz was talking about how, because he started to get his comedy known.
Yeah.
He started doing a clip a week for like every week for like 2 years. Like he didn't miss a beat. And I guess that comes obviously with writing because you have to put something together.
Yeah.
But like we always preached about this the podcast. It's always about consistency. It's always about exactly being very not passive, but going at it actively, being living life intentionally. It goes back to that. Like it really does to me. And I think if you do that, if you live it intentionally, you wake up and okay. And I get stuck in it because, for instance, for work, when I wake up for work, it's just like, okay, I know I got this, I do this, and get out. It's a routine, but I hate the idea that routine, you fall into it, and working for a 9 to 5, it's different than falling into a routine for yourself.
Sure.
Because if you've fallen into a routine for yourself, you've woken up, you've gone to the gym, you've answered emails, you've created labels and sent some stuff out. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely.
that time devoted for yourself and doing it, living intentionally for yourself, is different than just waking up intentionally to go to work for somebody else.
Well, the word devotion is important because, like, if you're thinking, for instance, hey, what I'm trying to do is be a stand-up comic, right? So now I got to write jokes and da-da-da-da. You have to be... There's a million people who are trying to do that at any given time. So in order for you to be successful at it, you got to live like you are trying to get it, right? So more than the people who are already famous and stand-up comedians are well-established, you got to be working harder than them. And you got to be regularly just on it and, try out your material and go to open mic nights and work for free and do what you can just to get your stage time, get comfortable, get your presence. Like, there's a version of that for every profession. So you got to just it's all about dedication and devotion. You know?
I often think about the times when Zach started doing stand up, right? Like, because he started doing stand up, and I was supposed to be just basically at the same time as him. Like because I remember going to what's that spot on Belmont, Belmont and Ashland. There's that little theater that was there.
Beat Kitchen?
No, it's shit. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's like a little like it's not a hole in the wall, but you wouldn't notice it was there really. But it's a theater there, and that's when he started doing it. And I just never had the balls to get up there and do it. And I always hate that because I always think about like they talk about the comedians who when they're coming up, they're just literally you may not even go up that night, but you being in that room with the comedians. Interacting with people within your field, the thing that you love, right? That like minds, it's different. Like if you can get into a room, like half the time I feel when I'm at work and I think about the things I think about, I know I'm not special in the idea that I think about wanting more because I know everybody wants more. But I feel like when I talk about the logic of what I feel like you should be doing more opposed to what you are doing. I feel like my ideology of that is not in tune with most people that I meet. And I just wish that I could find, like, obviously we all have the same kind of aspirations and know we want more. But, like, I just wish I could find a different room, right, than the ones I be in.
Sure.
To get into those and to talk to these people and to learn learn from them. And I don't need any money. I don't need any, but I would like to be able to be the fly on the wall so I can learn. Because they say if you feel like, I don't feel like I'm uber intelligent, but I feel like I'm a smart guy. But in terms of if you're the smartest guy in a room, you should probably not be in that room.
Got it.
And I don't know that I can't say that that's a fact for me most times, but I feel like smart is relative to what you're talking about, right? Are you intelligent about...
Everything is all relative.
Right, are you smart about, like, for instance, the editing of the podcast? If you're an intelligent editor, right, I think naturally this extends to you just being intelligent in general. Like, you're able to understand logic and things like that. But to understand the ins and outs of the editing would mean you're... I guess savvy would be more of the better word, right? Mm-hmm. You're editing savvy. But to be able to be in that room of people that are better at editing than you have, or they've learned better programs, they've done it for a longer time, you only are naturally going to learn and be better because it's a room full of people talking about the same thing. It's like, you ever been to a work function and instead of like a Christmas party for work, right, for instance, and then you just realize you just be talking about work.
Right.
You'd be like, I hate this.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I don't like to necessarily go to work functions because of things like that.
But
sure,
like it's just people who are bitching that things that they won't say in front of their boss that they'll be like, no, I don't really care.
This is the issue with working for somebody else. But now take your mind and put yourself in a room where you're with your coworkers of your community, right? And I keep bringing it up because we already talked as an editor, right? Digital editing for video and all that.
But now you're taking it to a point where it's passion, so you're talking about it with
yourself
love
in that
and like
room,
actual...
right? A conference for editors or real estate agents or what have you. Yeah. You're going to go in this room and that's all you're going to talk about because it's something that everybody lives, embodies, enjoys, loves, it's fulfilling for them. Right, everybody wants to talk about their experiences and what they've learned, and you just being in that room means that you're going to learn more naturally because it's a different aspect of.
It's like when you're trying to learn a language using a computer, and then when you go into the country, it's just that much easier to pick it up because you're surrounded by it.
Yeah,
sure.
But that's like the gift and the curse of the internet, right? Like everybody wants a viral moment because now everybody has seen me. Like my eyes.
Virality can help push you to a better place.
But it can also do nothing for you. Like people have been viral and then 10 seconds later they've been nobody,
Island boys.
So I don't necessarily want like a viral moment. Like in terms of this podcast, for instance, right? Like regardless how successful it is, 4 years in, we're still doing it. So clearly it's not that big of a deal. Obviously it'd be awesome if we were to blow up, but whatever. A viral moment is like what they say, a moment on the lips, forever on the hips. You know what I mean? Like it's that you're fucking gone pretty much.
Don't eat that sugar, bitch.
You got to you got to be consistent, right? And so like if you're not constantly in the eye of everybody on the internet, like everybody can. There's been a bajillion people who had fucking a viral moment, but the people who have longevity, they've slowly built their brand and they built their audience and they've catered towards a specific thing that they're looking for, not just like, oh shit, somebody thought this was funny and now they've shared it a million times.
And that's a good segue to the fact that we had missed it, but
we had an anniversary.
We we missed. Adam doesn't have everything cued properly, but we'll do an applause for it. So.
Yeah, go us.
I'll sing, it's our anniversary. And that's all you got from me. But it's our 4-year, right?
We've been doing this. To stop it there too.
We've been doing this for 4 years.
That's wild.
Right? 4 years.
July
we did
9th
take some time
was,
off.
July 9th is the anniversary of when the channel was created.
This podcast has taken on a lot of different shapes, right? We were in my house. We had no like background, terrible cameras, no microphones, nothing, right?
Then if you go back and watch some of those early episodes, like we've come a long way.
Right. Yeah, right. Think about it. We went through, we added microphones. Dave was there until the 50th and he was gone for a minute, right? So it was just us two. Then from that point, COVID happened. And then we were gone.
We took off for a year.
I took off for a year. We came back here and we kind of had, it's a new place. We had
this little table and we were facing across each other.
Very small. Yeah, I was looking at it the other day. Then Adam went. He invested in the Rode mics and things like that.
Right.
Dave came back. We're here. We're now at episode 145.
Yeah.
I wish you had air horns in this bitch, but you don't.
Well, I have air horns, but you're like,
they were terrible. Anyway, Adam had air horns. He took them away.
No, there's
a lot of stuff that's happened here.
It's probably better.
They're still in there, but I think we have to like cycle through and find them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man, it's better than no.
Where's the
horns.
reverb?
Do I look like I am not an
You gotta
engineer.
get in the editing room.
I'm not.
You gotta get in that editing room.
I'm not an editor. I'm not a producer.
Get
None of those things.
Get in that room, son.
Well, where the fuck is the door? Hey, man, invite me in.
But yes, I do think we should take a second and appreciate the fact we've been doing this for 4 years. If you've been rocking with us for the 4 years,
we definitely appreciate you,
we appreciate it. We love you.
Shout out
Thank
to all
you
of
for
you.
that.
Opposite shout out to Glenn just to keep the energy.
Opposite shout out to Glenn. Word. You know, Adam used to rap in the front of the at the top of the episode.
I wasn't appreciated, so I stopped.
Yeah, that's why I stopped with the kicks. Actually, I think I was over-appreciated.
Yeah.
So
I was going to tell you that too. I was looking at the analytics, right? And so I set up the YouTube page now for like the initial thing you see is like the most popular videos and then the new releases, right? So the popular ones, I think the biggest one is like 5,000 views now. And I looked at the analytics and like the things that brought people, and it was all just like people sexualizing feet, like all the things that brought them there, the traffic, whatever.
Wow.
And I was like, well, y'all are gross, but I mean, whatever.
Now.
No, I don't think they are. But the new thing,
so.
the most recent episode, I looked at the analytics to see what brought the traffic there, and it's all like people doing shit like us, so, like maybe smaller podcasts who like they suggested, or they watch like some interview with. There's been a couple of like smaller podcasts. I see you got some pretty good interviews recently, and I'm like, man, fuck y'all, we need one of those. But
I think a cool interview. I think an interview would be cool. Somebody like just out. If we got to just rack our brain. Who do we have 2 degrees, 1 degree, 3 degree separation of us that we can try to get in here?
And I think we can
find.
We'll figure all that out.
But no, I just want to give us ourselves applause because we deserve it, motherfuckers.
We'll clap along with that.
And you love feet. You don't. We appreciate you. if you do love feet, like I said, $1,000 foot pictures directly sent to your email.
But again,
as long as you send the $1,000 directly to my Zelle.
Again, those aren't the main things that are drawing the people to us now.
Bro, bitch, I need it. Send me the $100.
And this is the most confusing.
Okay,
we have the most
that's
confusing.
That's a whole nother level.
We have a confusing viewership in a way, right? Because like we put out an episode last week after 2 weeks because of my respiratory shit, and we were at 290, and then when we put that episode out, like
289,
3 seconds later, it jumped down, and then now we're back up there again.
It's it's noticeable because we only have gotten the triple digits. It's not like we're gonna not notice,
right?
Just stop unsubscribing and just continue to subscribe. That's all we're looking for.
It'll get better if you didn't like that last episode,
right?
Yeah, and then we just said last episode we had some things that we were dealing with, and luckily the dog is back in a better place.
Yes,
word. So,
well. Sneakers?
There was something else I was gonna say, but I guess I could wait. Yeah, let's get sneakers.
Cool.
Same as back in the game, huh? You got skin in the game again, or whatever.
I just been rocking like the same 3 or 4 pairs of shoes lately.
Well, they're not the royal toes.
Not this time.
Speaking of ones, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy those Visionaire ones. They're like
really?
the Bolt Green. I like them. They got the sail tongue.
I thought about the green up tempos now since I looked on sneakers and I was like, they're super like tennis ball green, but like
if I buy anything, it's gonna be off Goat, the Goat app. So I've been looking at that.
Why is that?
I just think I feel a little more comfortable with it. I like it a little bit more, and for people I know that have used it, they seem to like it more than they've used StockX.
There were some dunks that came out that I they were available like
recently. Yeah, they were
and I was
mad
like,
ugly.
I was
They're
like,
the
I
ones
could
that
buy
get. They're
these.
the ones they give me access to. These
Yeah.
whack ass dunks.
I was like, I could buy these, and they probably have some nice resale because dunks just
Fuck
do.
that.
But like,
Damn.
No, fuck that.
Yeah,
But no, I
decided
do
against
think
it.
I'm gonna buy those. I want to buy the shadows. I've been through this.
Right.
But they're like 520, 530. The Shadow 2.0s, which is like a flip of that, which are like they're mostly gray with the black underlay. That's like 260. I was like, still don't really want to spend that much. The Visionaires, like 175. I'm a Volt Green guy. I like it a lot.
I like it, but it can't be the entire shoe. That's
You
my
know what I'm
only.
talking about? You
That's
seen
my
the
only
Visionaires?
hesitation.
I've
Yeah.
seen it.
But that's my only hesitation with those up tempos. Is the entire thing is
Yeah,
gold
man.
like that.
I don't. But to me, you're not wearing that shoe every day.
Nah.
But that's a shoe that you do it correctly. It looks right. It's a vacation shoe to me.
I mean, most of the shoes I
Some
have
of these things, some things
wore
are
every day.
vacation type oriented type things, right? You buy a pair of white Air Force Ones, you better go save them for that vacation.
You better believe if I was a tennis player, I'd be in a lot of green.
Yo,
You know?
no lie, we're gonna go golfing soon. They got a pair of low top one golf shoes. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
man,
copping.
I haven't seen those golf.
You know
shoes,
I'm copping.
Jordan golf shoes. It looks pretty wild.
I'm
man.
definitely copping a pair for this golf day. I'm gonna go in there.
Yeah, but I
fucking-
feel
They got
weird
like
about
the- I
fours
can't
and
golf,
fives and shit.
Even
It's
though
like,
I
what?
can't golf, I'm gonna go out there looking like a motherfucker can.
some of the. I'm not a huge fan of some of the cleats though. Like I forgot what dude's name is from the
I'm
Cubs.
not wearing it normally.
But he had a pair of 12s, I believe, that were cleats during the championship run.
Huh.
And I just wasn't. I don't know, man.
I understand, but listen, that's the reason why.
Also, I
Kids,
didn't really grow up
I
playing
say
sports
wear-
that required cleats. So
I say wear what you like, right? That's why like in sneakers and everything else. But like for sneakers, there's always a different color combination that people aren't gonna fuck with.
For sure.
I like them, and that's it. If people don't like them, it's cool with me.
I know you used to be like, oh, unless it's an OG, I don't want it.
When it comes to the ones specifically, I don't mind a really nice colorway as long as it's in an OG silhouette, and I'll deal with that. But like, I don't want to buy a pair of like fours that just like these like black and like they're not the New York colors. My bad. The New York color ones, like I don't
Yeah.
want any of that.
I
Like,
mean,
prefer
obviously,
the
we're
OG.
not in New York, and we're not New York fans of teams,
Yeah, but if
so
you're a
it's
New
not
York
necessary
person,
for us.
do you really want to
know?
wear a New York colored
No, they are.
Jordan shoe?
They do.
See all the
Jordan
red, white,
sent
and
y'all home
you-
so many fucking
do you
times.
see all the red, white, and black that I have here? The Bulls colors, like clearly.
You don't have
rep
the same
home team.
sentiments I
It's
have.
root for the home team. You know what I mean?
If they don't win, it's all right. Sneakers,
I mean, bread Jordans are classic though.
of course, and I get that. But I mean, beyond that, there's a lot of colorways that are just like. that's
You're
really-
right.
There's a lot of
what
funky
was
ones.
The point?
But there are a
Like,
lot of
or
ones.
these like some of the ones that they released that if they're just so close to the normal ones,
Yeah.
like they released
Of course,
what are those?
they're
those-
double dipping in our pockets, is what they
What
do.
are the?
what it is.
And actually, for the people who can't get the OGs or something like that they want because they sold out in 10 seconds, and God knows, it's impossible in the sneaker world. They're like, oh, well, here's a consolation prize.
Well, what
It's a
was-
similar colorway.
What were the names of the black and blue ones that came out that were close but now cigar to the original black and blue Jordan ones? They're it's like a different blue. It was like a different hue of blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
But they do that with everything.
If you're gonna release that, just get the fucking dye and dye it the right blue, and then send me those.
Honestly, G.
No, it takes away the exclusivity, and we already know the sneaker world is exclusivity.
Fuck all that.
And
I don't
that's the
care
reason why
about
we can't get
exclusivity.
anything.
I just want all of them.
Yes,
if you could
but
just let me get all of them, I'd be happy.
pretty
You
wild
have to care about
market,
exclusivity because as a sneakerhead, you are subjected to it regardless whether it is your preference or not.
I was gonna buy a pair of ones today. The problem is once I start buying them from Off Goat, the door's open.
Yeah, man.
And you're gonna just start seeing me just. I'm gonna be addicted to getting those fucking Air Jordan 1 boxes in my closet, and I'm gonna get more and more,
Yeah.
and I don't have any room. I literally have to be like, do I have room for this one box?
I could put probably like another 30, 40 pairs before it
I'm
hits
gonna
the
start
ceiling.
bringing shoes to his house to store them
I
here.
just bought.
Adam's gonna be like, dude, can you stop bringing shoes to my house? I'm like, I don't. have a closet.
If you bring the shoes to my house, then they're mine.
No, they're not.
Damn.
Sorry, man.
Steak and
There ain't no
claim
damn
on it.
storage unit. The fuck does it
For
look like
real.
to you? Ain't no damn U-Haul.
I just got
Better start using them weights, then, motherfucker. You're gonna try to take my shoes.
Jordan Union joints. Not the like OGs, but it's
Which one do you like of those pairs better? The black or the white ones? The white and blue and with the orange, the yellow stitching.
I prefer the twos out of the collab,
Okay.
the Jordan Union collab,
Okay.
and I'd say my favorite is the blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm mad at it.
No, the unions are nice, but that's another shoe that's like 9. $1,000.
The ones that I'm gonna get, they're called Delta. It's a mid. It's a actual like Jordan shoe. It's not like really like a. It's not like a number like OG series type thing.
One of the Flight Club shit.
Something that's it's not a mashup of shoes either. It's like its own separate thing. I bought another pair recently, same style, but it's a low top instead of a mid.
Okay.
But the Union collab though is just it's fire. Like I like the whole silhouette and all that.
I'm definitely gonna buy a pair.
But
of shoes
the box is like one of the reasons why I'm buying it too. Because it's just so dope. The main like top part, it's just Jordan shooting the ball.
Oh, that's dope.
Like its hands, and then the inside has like this like a mural, but that's like your paper. You know. So I want to get that.
I appreciate a good package.
I really do,
Yeah,
man.
for
Like,
sure.
the whole thing is wild, man.
For $200, you better fucking go out
Yeah,
on that
you really
fucking box.
should. You look at like when
The
you
hell
get
wrong
like
with you?
Louis and all that shit. Like
Like, already-
they come in really nice like boxes.
Already
Even
it's
when
rare
you
that I get
something
one,
shipped
and
from
I
like
want-
Ralph Lauren, they give you like they ship it in a nicer packaging, like a nicer box,
The
nicer paper.
Union 2 fucking packaging was wild for the friends and family. It was a glass aquarium, and they filled it with a bunch of like not wildlife, excuse me, like plant life and like insects. And they had the shoes right in the middle inside its own like
There were
case.
insects where the shoes were.
Yeah, but like so the shoes were encased though.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
they
like,
were in
everything's
separate
around
separate
it.
areas.
Yeah.
Like a little
Shit,
ant
still-
It
farm
was
type of thing.
then like they dropped it off in like this U-Haul. Like it was wild, G. It's like as tall as this. Like yeah.
What am
And
I
you
gonna
open
do
it
with
up,
this
it's like
now?
butterflies that fly out and
Now I
shit.
gotta now I gotta put this in my house. Like
It was wild, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna get that, you're to some degree a collector.
Oh, of
And,
course.
You know,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna put
Yeah.
that as a piece in your house. Then you know.
And believe me, I wish I had the ability to. There's a lot of things I want to have up. I have shit from back in the day, but anyway,
I do have a Foot Locker gift card that I have to put to some use, so I
I
probably
don't
cop
know
some
how
shoes.
you ain't did that shit.
Yeah, I got a refund for $60 from Nike. I gotta use that.
I'll put it to you soon, man. You know, I thought like maybe I get a hat or some shit, but
I'm actually
I got
adding
enough.
these Prestos.
Presto. I like
all
some. I
black
want
joints.
to. I would.
They're mids.
I would like
fire.
a pair of what's it called? Those off-white joints, but
Man, somebody was selling these crazy fake off-white Prestos, and I saw it on eBay for like $30. I was like, should I pull it?
Yeah.
It was so. The only thing that was different was the actual like shoe was like squishy.
like more pliable.
Yeah, exactly that.
Shit does
Yeah,
not
that's
have the
I was
the
just trying to
integrity
explain
that it's
that.
supposed to.
Yeah, no integrity to the leather or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Well, what you got on,
I
man?
got these Nike Air Maestro 2s,
Bless
the Scottie Pippen dedications.
Bless you.
Bless you. Sorry. No, it's all good. You don't have to say sorry for sneezing. You know, it's a natural human reaction.
Allergies.
Yeah. But yeah, these Air Maestros, not the Prestos. You know, you got them in my head.
Right.
These are a really comfortable shoe. I think we've talked about them before, but yeah, the Scotty dedication.
Yeah, man.
No. And you, my friend.
I got these Jordan 1 mids, black purple.
I fucks with them. Here, say that in here though.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Excuse me, though. Well, you ain't got to do all that either. Yeah, they're Air Jordan 1 mids, black and purple.
All right.
I think it's a court purple. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucks with them. Very nice. You know, Mike's liking your sneaker game recently.
Yeah. Shout out, man. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, and don't worry
I
about
don't
it,
do
man.
this shit for nothing.
I'm trying to tell Sam all the time, like, stop trying to talk about fighting animals. You can't do it. They can whoop your ass.
Oh, I really appreciate those comments too, Mike. Like, for real. 'Cause someone needs to calm this man the fuck down.
You know,
They're trying to fight bears and shit. Tell this man, okay? Get in his ear.
When the video comes out, you're like, that looks like holy shit. Like, whooping the shit out
It's
of
gonna be
kangaroo's ass.
a setup for his weddings and like fight a lion or some shit.
there was one of these like YouTube
Just
shorts.
how much I love you, baby.
It's one of these YouTube shorts that came up, and it was like a man hitting a kangaroo, and I was like, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Immediately, bro.
On that note,
Immediately.
fuck y'all.
What I want to talk about next week. So prepare these stories. I want y'all to think about it and give us a real good story.
Hit me.
The first time that you remember getting in a fight, the circumstances around it, and the outcome.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to leave you with that. We appreciate y'all tuning in to episode number 145. In case you didn't know who the fuck we are.
They couldn't possibly.
Couldn't possibly. Well, I hope they know. It's been long enough for y'all to know at this point. But we appreciate y'all tuning in, man, and shout out to all y'all who watched and rocked with us, you know, for the 4 years that we've been at it.
Yes.
Minus the year that we took off. And, you know, tell your friends, make sure they can rock with us the next 4, hopefully. We got another 4 in us. And, you know, we catch y'all on the episode 146.
On the flippity flip.
Word.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Later.